We're happy that you are joining us, and we look forward to showing you the highest quality artwork in the television market today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Fine Art Auction. But first, the rules. All bidders must be registered, and if you're going to bid, make sure you know all the rules. First of all, there is a 10% buyer's premium added to each winning bid. Bidders will be responsible for shipping. All works are guaranteed to be as described, or you don't own it, and you may return it to us for a full and prompt refund. If for any other reason you decide to return your purchase, you may do so for up to 7 days after receipt. But in this case, the buyer's premium and shipping are non-refundable. It is mandatory that you obtain a RMA number for all returns. To obtain this number, simply call customer service during normal business hours. All artwork must be received back to us in exactly the same condition as when it was shipped. Please visit the shopabc.com website for a full list of terms and conditions that apply to all of our auctions. And now, from our studios in Atlanta, it's the Fine Art Auction. We've got works from the masters, the latest up-and-coming street art, and Richard's featured work. From Atlanta to Los Angeles to New York, it's the Fine Art Auction, live!
Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Hope you're all well. It's great to be with you, and we're coming to you live from our wonderful studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll be taking you across the beautiful blue Atlantic Ocean in just a few seconds to meet our lovely Lucy, who is our wonderful art expert, and she'll be coming live from our London studios. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Fine Art Auction, a great show lined up for you today. Lots of works coming in the show now. If you'd like to register, all you need to do, register in order to bid, then all you need to do is call the toll-free number. It's on the red banner underneath me here, 866-518-5933. Now, you want to do that right away. And anyone who's brand new to the show, we don't share your information. It takes about 45 seconds. We just put you in the system. That means that you can bid to your heart's content, not only at this auction, but any future auctions that you see. We've been on the air for over 20 years now, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be on CNBC conducting this show, and we have some amazing artwork. Yesterday, someone went home with an amazing Rembrandt, ladies and gentlemen. It was from 1641, so congratulations to our viewer there yesterday, and many other great works were in the show. So today it's not going to be any different. Some amazing pieces coming your way. This is a surprise piece. You won't have found that on the catalogue. You can always look up the show, www.thefineartauction.com. And this is by our #1 artist, and his name is Kef. He comes all the way from Germany, and in fact I put in a little surprise lot for the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to just get you in the mood for the auction. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer our #1 artist. I've got a little piece by him. It's hand signed, and I'm going to bring that in the show, and I'm going to just start that at only $100. So, ladies and gentlemen, it will sell to the highest bidder, and that will be our first lot this morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're going to play a quick video of Kef to get you warmed up, and then I'll take you across the Atlantic to meet our art expert extraordinaire, Lucy Cowley. So, here is Kef.
Every line.
Amazing piece. It is a surprise piece, Lucy, so get ready, my dear. I know you're chomping at the bit, but this is the first piece. So I'm going to go to the certificate of authenticity, and it is Calm Transition number 18, which is what we always like, a calm transition. And ladies and gentlemen, calm transition number 18. I've started at only $100 for you. These in a gallery, they're about $3,000 now. So ladies and gentlemen, it's an original screen print in color on 100% cotton paper, hand signed by the artist on the lower right, numbered on the lower left. Ladies and gentlemen, I started at $100. Let's put up a 3-minute clock. At the end of the 3 minutes, it will be sold. So get on the phone now, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very quick, rapid-fire auction. And here is your 3-minute clock then. And it starts at only $100. Great little piece. And it is by our #1 artist, Kev. Get on the phone, ladies and gentlemen. And to anyone new, if you're registering, there's a little gift. If you call in now, it may help you to acquire this first piece. Just a clue for you. So get on the phone now. Get yourself registered. Here's Lucy.
Good morning, America. I hope you're all well. Hope you had a great start to your Sunday and you are ready for a ride this morning, because we do have some incredible art, like always, for you. And I'm so happy we're starting with a Kev, and you all should be as well, because he is the #1 street artist in the world today, and he is seriously a rock star in the art world. He's a museum provenance artist, not one museum, but 2. So one in Germany and one right with you in the United States there in California. So this is a major deal. And you've got an opportunity now. For anyone who is brand new to the show, do not think for one moment that you need to know anything about art to watch the show, to collect art, to go into a gallery, go to a museum. You do not. All you need to know is what you love. Truly, it is that simple. Somebody told me that many, many years ago, and I've made sure that I've shared that whenever I can. I think it's so important. So straight away, if you're loving this piece, just get on the phone knowing you are buying into the biggest art movement of our century, and into one of the biggest artists within that art movement. His name, as we know, is Kev. He is a German artist, a German superstar. He has really had this incredible rise to the top, and it really happened incredibly quickly for him. He started off as a street artist, and as we know, street art is considered to be vandalism, but he was recognized as an actual artist and not a vandal. And he was invited to display his art in Berlin. And that's exactly what he did at the Festival of Lights. And then from that moment on, really everything started going for him. It was really quite amazing to see. He got a contract with Urban Outfitters. And truly, that is really what changed everything, not just for the art world, but also for Kev, because Kev then gained confidence, and from that moment on he started seeing his star rise. If we go to my screen, what you are going to find when you go to look for a Kev quite often will be sold out, because that's how in demand he is. And what's happening is that many art dealers, many galleries are just holding on to his works. Originals of his are selling for $88,000. So let me tell you, this is an incredible opportunity for you. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've had one caller, and one caller owner from Florida at $125. I cannot believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you think I was serious. So, ladies and gentlemen, my bidder there, I'm going to give you literally 60 seconds only, a 1-minute clock with me. I'm about to sell it, ladies and gentlemen. It's on sale and with you. So get on the phone, and it's at $125, and I'll take 50 now. It's on sale. $125, the #1 street artist in the world. It's hand signed, limited edition, one of only 300 in the world. Let's zoom in on the edition there, ladies and gentlemen. So limited edition, these are $3,000 in a gallery at $125, and it's going now at $125. On sale, selling now at $125, and you've got to be quick if you want it at $125, $150. I see it with Hunter at $150, at $150 bid, $175, thank you, $175, Michael's bidder, $200, thank you, Karen at $200 bid, at $225 back with Hunter, $225, $250, Karen at $250, at $250, it's on sale, it's going, $275 bid, at $275, and I'll take $300 bid, at $300 bid, at $300 bid, $325 bid, at $325, it's on sale, at $325 bid, at $325 bid, $350 bid, $350 bid, $350, and I'm selling at $350. 350 and it's on sale with you at 350. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop.
Later, that same print, it's a screen print, exactly what you're bidding on right now as a KEF. It was 23,000, just over 23,000. A few years later, still 82,500, exactly the same work. It was a print, and that is what happened, okay? So if we come back to our work, we know that these things can happen. Buy art because you love it, of course. But in the back of our minds, we are human beings. Isn't it nice when we see them increasing in value? And anyway, at 350 at a buy it now, you're already on top of the game in terms of pricing. So yeah, I mean, what an incredible opportunity for first thing on a Sunday morning. You're going to be waking up tomorrow morning, starting the week really happy with that piece of art coming to you, beautifully framed. And what I really like about KEF is that the talent is so evident. I mean, this is an artist who does no preparatory work. He just visually rehearses in his mind and then starts to create. And those lines are done by him. They are a big one to watch. Honestly, he has crossed that line. And when artists do that, I mean, artists like KEF really now being invited by luxury brands, it just tells us everything. They're here to stay. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, someone just asked me the measurements. Well, you've got to be quick because they're about to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is 17. 17, and the height here, 21. 17 by 21 on that, and we're just about to sell out. John, we're going to move on with the show, and if you want to come to me now. There are two available. The last two, Kim's in charge of the phones, 350 plus the buyer's premium. I nearly said plus the VAT. That's in English, ladies and gentlemen, plus the buyer's premium. So I've got a very, very special piece for you. Now, with this, I have to do something very, very unusual. We're going to turn the lights right down and zoom in on this piece. So, John, put me in darkness, which is what most people prefer. And let's go to that piece. Don't laugh at me, Lucy. It's very naughty of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is by KEF, but it is a spectacular original mixed media work on canvas with resin. Now, because I've introduced you to him with that quick video, and Lucy has given you a quick taster of what he's all about, this man, I've sold his work on the show for $70,000 for originals. It was a large piece. It was created. Let's zoom out. Let's drop the graphics for a second. There's still one more left of the KEF if someone wants it. 350. Thanks for letting me know, Kim. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a superb piece. It's done on resin on canvas. So that is not, it is not glass. Let me get the angle right. There we go. That is not glass, that is resin. You're going to love this piece, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not going to waste time because these are very valuable works, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to give you a chance to own it. We've only got this one available, and I'm going to give it to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start it at only $1,000. I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder, and that is the spectacular KEF resin on canvas, hand signed with the diamond dust. 1,000 starts me. Let's bring back the graphics. Let's bring back Lucy. Lucy, let's get going. Here we go.
Wow, okay, so everyone, I am in love with the diamond dust ones, and I know many of you are too. So for those of you who haven't yet made that leap and got on those phones and made sure you've acquired your diamond dust one, please do, because these really do scream high-end luxury premium, you know, deluxe pieces because of the diamond dust and the way that it's been created. The diamond dust is real diamond dust. So it's collected from the floors of diamond cutters, and then it is distributed throughout the piece of art. It's a really difficult process to try and get it really even, and then the resin is put over the top, and that resin gives it that lustrous finish. And it means that when it hangs in your home, you really do see it. You know, it's just incredible, the shine of it, the luster of it, and then you've got the diamond dust. So it really is amazing. And I love KEF because of everything that he's able to convey on that canvas and the really clever way that he manages to execute things. But what astounds me the most is his talent, the fact that how does he create these lines himself without any mistakes? And I have heard on good authority, people who have watched him creating, he doesn't make any mistakes. And so you just sort of get lost in it. Lots of people talk about how they will travel for miles and miles and miles to go and see him working or go to see an exhibition of his. That's how impressive he is and how much everybody just loves to be part of his story, his success story. And he really has had this incredibly successful story, and it just continues. He's now being specified in these incredibly high-end architectural projects. He's been talked about in the Financial Times and publications like that. And you know that when an artist is being talked about in those types of caliber of publications, that this is an artist people are really keeping their eye on. And so there's these wonderful, wonderful projects with his work within it. Let me see if I can line those up for you now and show you some of them. Let's go back to my screen, if we may. This is where he began his story, here in London. And he sort of honed his style until he arrived at this, and that's where he stayed. That was the Urban Outfitters project, and just want to show you this. That was the World Cup. But let's go over to Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a superb piece, isn't this one, John? Fantastic. What a work, John. This one, lot 16B, I put it in. It's an extra piece to come into the show, John. And it is an original mixed media work with diamond dust under resin in canvas. Hand signed, Harmonious Escape number 14. Let's go to the certificate of authenticity. And ladies and gentlemen, Harmonious Escape number 14. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the original mixed media work with diamond dust under resin on canvas, hand signed by the artist on the verso. It is from a series of unique variants, so you might see another one similar. You will never see two identical, I promise you. Nowhere. It's not possible. They're all made by hand, ladies and gentlemen. The man is a genius. How does he do it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to explain very, very briefly with the help of John, if you don't mind. And you're looking very, very nice, John, ready for church. And this particular piece is made on canvas. What he has to do is go in a sealed room because you cannot have dust on these. The only dust is in it. It's diamond dust. And the diamond dust comes from Antwerp. Later on, he gets it sent to him in Berlin, and then he places a wooden block underneath it in the studio, underneath the canvas to support the weight, because when you pour resin on, number one, it's toxic when it's wet. However, he wears a gas mask to protect his lungs, etc. Works in a sealed room. It's actually, he zips it up. Later on, he goes in there for a couple of hours at a time doing his resin works. These take about a month to do, each one, and they are absolutely superb. Now, you see the gloss on it. That's not glass. That is the resin itself. So it takes about a month for it to cure. He goes back to them, he does the best he possibly can. Remember, they're made by hand, not made by a machine. So each one is as perfect as he can possibly make it. He puts the diamond dust under the resin, he pours the resin over the original canvas there, and look at that design that he's done. That's all done, John, that's in silver, isn't it?
That's correct.
Look, it can look white, but it's actually silver. So it's silver on black, a beautiful monochromatic piece, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to dim the lights one last time. I can't believe we're on it. Are you bidding, Charlie? What would you like to bid? Are you bidding? Okay, well, let's dim the lights. Let's dim the lights here. And it is the last chance. You've seen the certificate now. I'll just drop the graphics for a second so we can zoom in and see that beautiful piece. There's all the diamond dust. So when you have it at home, as you walk past it, you're going to get beautiful, beautiful aspects to the piece. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be selling, I can assure you, in galleries. They're going to be about $20,000 when they're released. We have the exclusive here to release them in the United States, and it's a beautiful entry to today's auction. So, ladies and gentlemen, a surprise entry, and it's about to sell. So I give you literally 1 minute now with Lucy, and then the hammer comes down. 1 minute only. Here we go.
Okay, so let's just quickly go to my screen and show you where Kef now is being invited to display, and you know, some of the paintings that he is being commissioned to do. I mean, this was the Hamptons Fine Art Fair, which is a very prestigious art fair, and this was a new customer, obviously, of Kef, and that was their home that was put into. So, you know, we can see the caliber now and where he sits within the art world. It really is just wonderful to see all of this. And if we can come back to our work, the other thing I wanted to show you just really quickly, There's a few things actually, if I've got time. 1 minute isn't enough, but let's go back to my screen. So now he is showing alongside the likes of Banksy. I mean, this is how big he's become, and rubbing shoulders with the likes of Led Zeppelin superstar Robert Plant, and, you know, on the stage with us, auctioning one of his works, wrapping Porsches and BMWs and Teslas. I mean, it's just extraordinary. This is a high-end project, obviously Architectural Digest project, just wonderful. He's a big name, and if we come back to our piece, you will have an artist in your home who has done all of these incredible things. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you very much. Well, we're bid 24 and I'll take 25. 25 I see now with Roxy at 25 and I'm selling it to the highest bidder. At 25 I got a bid of 25. Give me a best and final bids. At 25. At 25 I got a bid of 25. 25. 25. 25 only. At 25. At 25 another one off anyone. At 25 is there another one to move on? At 25. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest that he's had, released from his Berlin studio. I'm about to sell it. Ladies and gentlemen, are you bidding? Are you bidding, yes or no? Thank you very much. Come on, give me your best and final bids now. On sale and with you. On sale and with you. Anyone else, yes or no? Anyone else, yes or no? 26, thank you. 26 bid. At 26 I'm bid. At 26 got a bid of 26. 26 bid. At 26. 26 is bid. 26 and it's selling. 26 Roxy, up to you. At 26 bid. At 26 bid. 26. 26 bid. Thank you. Best and final bids now. 27 bid. 27 going to bid a 27. 27 bid. At 27. At 27 bid. At 27 bid. Come on, give me your best and final bids. Give me your best and final bids, John. It's got to sell. This is a beauty, an absolute beauty. It's on sale. I'm with you. Is there anyone else? 28 bid. At 28 going to bid a 28. Now 3. Now 3. At 28 bid. At 28 bid on the beautiful resin. At 28 bid. 28 bid. Come direct from his studio in Berlin. At 28 going to bid a 28. 28 bid. 28. This man has held his own museum show now. Ladies and gentlemen, that normally doesn't happen until after you passed away. When you passed away, then they appreciate you, then the museums give you a show. He's not even 40. He's not even 40 years of age, and he's had his own museum show. I'm about to sell. Give me a best and final bids. Give me a best and final bid. Is there anyone else, yes or no? Anyone else, yes or no? John, I'm selling now. Best and final bid, please. Best and final bid, please, John. Best and final bid. Is in charge of all the phone team there with Kim. I'll take the last bid, last chance. Sold and gone. Thank you very much. Congratulate your bidder. Well done to you. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, on we go with the show. Now, John, we got something very, very special for the audience. I'm going to have a bit of fun again with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start it very, very low. This is a world-famous artist. World-famous artist. This piece happens to be hand-signed. Hand-signed, it's called Ancient Orca Seas, hand-signed by Weiland. Weiland is the #1 marine artist, obviously anything to do with the sea, marine. #1 marine artist in the world. There is no one better. Many of you know him. He does these amazing murals. They are enormous. They're called the Wailing Walls, some of them, and this is a beautiful scene of the orcas here. It's called Ancient Orca Seas. It's an original lithograph printed in color. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put up very, very quickly a 3-minute clock, and I want to show you the certificate of authenticity, and I'm going to auction it. I'll start it at just $100, and I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. Ancient Orca Seas, original lithograph printed in colour on archival paper, hand signed and numbered by the artist in the lower margin, a limited edition, ladies and gentlemen, from 2002. He created this 24 years ago. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece. We're going to zoom in on the piece and show you just how magnificent it is, and get the lighting right. You're going to love this piece. Get the lighting right. Let's zoom in a bit closer and take it over to Lucy. $100 starts me, Lucy, on the world-famous Weiland, and it is a hand-signed example. This piece you cannot get in a gallery now. If you could find it, I think you're going to have to pay somewhere between, in my opinion, $3,500 and $4,500 if you can find one. I'm selling it to the highest bidder in the next 2 minutes. Here's Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, what a name. I mean, Weiland. There are some artists who become famous for a moment, aren't there, Richard? And then others spend decades building a reputation that lasts. And Weiland is one of those artists. For over 40 years, he's dedicated his career to celebrating the oceans. And today he is recognised as one of the world's leading marine artists. And I think if you've ever visited Hawaii, Florida, California, there's every chance you've come across this artist's work. His enormous whale murals, whaling walls, have become landmarks in their own right. So this is a huge artist, and I just adore the black and white versions that he created, and I think these are definitely the most popular. I think Rich is absolutely right, they're really difficult to find. He did this one in 2002. This truly is a collector's piece, and I think too, you know, the Wailing Walls, you know, I think you will all have seen one in your lifetime. Before social media was around, you know, these could be seen and spotted everywhere. They're a big deal. Let's go to my screen and let's just have a look at what I'm talking about so everyone becomes familiar with this artist. So here he is, the man himself, and some of his Wailing Walls, absolutely incredible, truly. And, you know, this really is his lasting legacy. Just wonderful. And I think there's many memories being formed with families in front of these walls and, you know, seeing them. Cruise ships as well. I mean, absolutely stunning. Let's go back to Richard.
Well, we could talk about Weiland for a long, long time, ladies and gentlemen, but so far I haven't seen a bid. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do this. I appreciate you watching. I know you've been busy. You've enjoyed KEF, but this is an American art superstar. I'm giving you a chance. I've started at only $100. To frame it is probably about $500 just to frame it, ladies and gentlemen. The piece alone in a gallery, if you can find one, it's probably $3,500 to $4,500 because it's a sold-out edition. It's hand-signed down here. Let's zoom in on that signature. I'm going to give you one last chance. If not, John, let's get ready and take it out. Hand-signed, limited edition. I'm going to give you 1 minute and 1 minute only, ladies and gentlemen. I can't waste time on it. We're going to move on if there's no interest, so it's up to you. A world-famous American artist, hand-signed. They're $3,500 to $4,500. I'm starting it at $100. Come on, get on the phone. Here we go.
This is an artist who's got an incredible story as well. Look him up if you haven't heard of him, and I'm shocked if you haven't because he truly is the #1 marine artist. And he began painting in the 1970s. And he was connected with whales from the age of 14 when his family first visited Laguna Beach in California. He moved there. He truly was a starving artist. He would survive on 1 Snickers bar a day when starving artists really were starving artists. And then he painted his first Wailing Wall in 1981. And this particular work, I think, you know, orcas have long been symbols of intelligence, strength and family. And he portrays them here like he always portrays his animals, with enormous dignity and grace. It truly is beautiful, this one. And the thing is, you will find at home that when you bring the lights down and bring them up again, certain bits will highlight really atmospheric, you know, and show these magnificent creatures how they should be shown. You know, I truly think if you're someone who loves the sea, wildlife, or you simply want to bring a little bit of tranquility into your home, Weiland's work is one of those artists who's going to do that. And at the same time, he's an international name. I mean, what more could we ask for, everyone? Over to you, Richard.
Here we go, 350. Thank you, Charlie. 350 is bid. 350. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've run out of time. I'm selling it. Sold and gone at 350 plus the buyer's premium. I have, John, did you tell me there's only 2 available? Correct. Only 2 available, so if you want to get on the phone, do so now. Charlie, you've got yours at 350 plus the buyer's premium. They are $3,500 to $4,500 if you can find one. I've done it for 90% off, ladies and gentlemen. That is amazing. Hand signed. Lucy, I'll give you a minute to talk about it while people phone in. I've got 2 available. 2 available. Get on the phone now. 866-518-5933. Here's Lucy.
Yeah, let's go to my screen, Richard, and let's just have a look so everyone can see. You know, this is an artist who's still incredibly active today. I mean, very active on social media, showing us all of the beautiful paintings that he's doing and work that he's doing for conservation, because that is a huge, let's come back to our work, a huge passion of his. It's all about conservation and has been for his life. You know, this is the legacy that he's leaving behind. And I think too, you know, his pioneering efforts to create these monumental artworks dedicated to marine life conservation has really predated today's sort of social media super graphics. And it's estimated that at the height of his popularity, his artwork was seen by up to 1 billion people a year. I mean, that is truly remarkable, isn't it? So this is a huge opportunity for someone to own something beautiful, something classic, and something timeless. It's over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe there's still one available. If you want it, you've got to get on the phone. I can't do that for you. 866-518-5933. That's all you got to do. $350 plus the buyer's premium. It comes framed, it comes certified, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece by the world-famous marine artist Wyland. There are galleries specializing in his work. Walk into a Wyland gallery in Florida. I know I think there's one in Sarasota, there's one in Miami, in Hawaii. Is world famous as well. Walk in there, see if you can find something hand signed by him under 3,000. I don't think you can. Ladies and gentlemen, so hand signed by Wyland. If you love marine life, that is a beauty. And if you're going on a cruise to Alaska or something like that, this would be a beautiful, beautiful memory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sell it. It's one left only. John, let's move on with the show. $350 if someone wants it. Kim's in charge of the phone, as always, doing a lovely job. And ladies and gentlemen, we move on with the show with our next artist and this fantastic piece. I've done some pieces, very, very low prices for you, just to start the show, just to have a bit of fun, warm everyone up, get you used to the auction, get on the phone, get yourself registered. If you're brand new to the show, call in now, get yourself registered. There's a free gift waiting for you. I'm not going to tell you over the air what it is, but it is well worth phoning in. If you don't like the free gift, you don't have to have it. You don't even have to register. But call in now and find out what it is. Simple as that. 866-518-5933. And let's have a look at the next work of art here. What a beauty this is, ladies and gentlemen. And it is by a world-famous French artist. His name is Dweve. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a printer's proof. This happens to be a hand-embellished canvas. I'm going to tell you what that is. Basically, 40 years ago, they discovered that you could not only print onto paper, but you could actually print onto canvas. That became incredibly exciting to all the artists around the world because it established a brand new art market. Because before that, all you could buy in the art world or acquire was the original. Number one, you either had to have the money to acquire it, or number two, the luck to acquire it, because there would only be one. So the next thing which was created a few hundred years ago was printing onto paper. So that allowed artists to distribute their artwork like Rembrandt, etc. The fantastic piece that sold in the auction for 30,000 yesterday, the Rembrandt. Amazing, amazing work. But they discovered they could print onto canvas. It became exciting to the artists because they thought, wow, because it's on canvas, I can actually go back to the piece. Let's zoom in on the piece. I'll try and show you the texture in this. And the artist goes back with the palette knife and can actually enhance the whole work. So he's gone over the piece. It's called a hand-embellished work, or a deluxe print on canvas. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a sensational colorist. I've worked with the man for over 20 years. He is a world-class cello player, a fantastic cellist. And ladies and gentlemen, he is toured all over the world. He's an amazing artist. He has been hired by Ferrari and Lamborghini and all these big car companies to recreate their cars in his beautiful colors. Absolutely amazing. Here is the one and only Dweve. I am
Dweve. Welcome to my studio. I am happy to be with you at the Fine Art Auction.
Introducing Dweve, a renowned and highly collected French artist whose talent transcends boundaries. Born in 1952 in Bordeaux, France, Dweve was raised in an artistic environment. His mother was a classical pianist and his father a sculptor. Dweve picked up a paintbrush at the age of 3 and completed his first oil painting at age 9. The artist studied the cello at the Conservatoire National des Mystiques in Paris and attended the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts in Paris to study painting, sparking and fostering a serious pedigree in both of his lifelong passions, painting and music. This dual classical training guided his journey, allowing him to become globally renowned as an exceptional expressionist painter. At the same time, his affinity for music blossomed as he trained rigorously to become a concert cellist. Dwave's life has always been about blending these two worlds. As a painter, he is known for his bold and expressive works. His vibrant brushstrokes, filled with saturated colors, turned everyday scenes into extraordinary visual experiences. Each canvas burst with energy, bringing a sense of joy and movement to life. But painting is only one side of his artistic genius. Dwave is also an accomplished concert cellist. His performances, both solo and ensemble, are marked by the same emotional intensity that defines his paintings. In his hands, the cello becomes a musical brush, painting musical landscapes. What makes this artist truly unique is how he bridges his two talents. His paintings capture the fluidity and rhythm of music, while his heralded music performances evoke the colors and emotions of his artwork. Together, they create a multi-sensory experience, inviting audiences to feel and see the world through his eyes. Dwave's legacy is evidenced through his art at auction, in fine art galleries and concert halls around the world. His genius in blending art forms has captivated millions, thus inspiring a new generation of artists to explore the interconnectedness of the arts. Dwave is that transformational artist, reminding us that creativity knows no limits. It flourishes in many forms. Dwave's journey as both an expressionist painter and a concert cellist exemplifies the power of artistic passion. Through his extraordinary and multidisciplined talents, he celebrates the beauty of human expression in all of its forms, leaving an indelible mark on the world of art and music.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so congratulations, first of all, to all of our successful bidders so far and anyone who's taken advantage of the Buy It Nows. And this is a very exciting work indeed, not least because it's Dwave, but also because it is a hand-embellished work. And as Richard has explained, that really does make an extraordinary difference, because when you acquire the work and you hang it in your home and you see the light on it, whether it be daylight or whether you're going to have a direct light on it, an artificial light, it really will change things, because the pigments in the paints will just reflect back at you. And this is what Dwave is known for. He's known for bringing great energy and power to the canvas. The two subjects he paints are sailing yachts or beautiful vistas. Those are the two things he loves the most, and quite simply put, he just paints happiness. When you look at a work by him, you do feel happy, you feel uplifted, and that is what it's all about. That's all art collecting is about. It really is acting on the instinct that you're feeling inside, and this is how great collections are built upon. If we go to my screen, I do want to show you that this is an artist, as you probably can imagine, has had incredible success. And to reflect that success, you know, he's got all of these different awards, Who's Who in International Art, Bensonet Directory, Who's Who in American Art. Look at it. I mean, it's just accolade after accolade after accolade. Painting at the Cannes Film Festival for many, many years. Let's come back to our work. So I think if a painting can lift your mood every time you walk into a room, that truly is something wonderful to own. And Dwave occupies a unique place in the contemporary world of fine art, because he does bridge the cooler sensibility of Impressionism with that emotional spontaneity of Expressionism. It's just really nice. It brings it into the modern day, into the 21st century. Look at those brushstrokes, look at the energy. It's gorgeous, the lovely colours in the sails. This is what he does. He makes his canvases come alive with movement and light. He is very clever with the way that he uses colour graduation as well. So the reflections in the sea there, everything has power and movement within it. It's very dynamic. So for me, I love a Dwave. I think too, once you see one Dwave, you will always recognise other Dwaves. He has a very distinct look, which again is very important when it comes to artists. Artists who have that signature style, who you don't need to look for a signature, that is the mark of a great artist. And as Richard said, this is an artist who's been approached to do some really incredible projects with some of these supercars like Lamborghini and Ferrari. I'm going to show you some of those in just a moment. But for me, this is one of those pieces of art that is very, very timeless. It's a timeless classic. Over to you, Richard.
So coming in, thank you, on the beautiful canvas by Dwev. This is a very, very rare printer's proof. Let me show you the certificate of authenticity. So a very rare printer's proof. There's only one of these in the world. Is that correct, John? Or two? Was it two they did?
He actually has two of them.
Yes, two. Okay, so they only did two of these. Okay, Quintessence Giclève archival pigments on canvas. And ladies and gentlemen, I see 6's bid there. Thank you. 600 with Michael. Giclève archival pigment on canvas with the hand embellishments. It's signed by the artist on the lower right, signed, numbered and inscribed on the verso. 600 is the top bid at the moment. It's with Michael. And ladies and gentlemen, I will be selling to the highest bidder. So get on the phone now. I'll give you 2 minutes with Lucy, 2 minutes with Lucy, and then the hammer's coming down. Michael, you're in the lead at 600. Thank you for your bid. And ladies and gentlemen, this is all hand finished by the artist. He has a gallery in Palm Beach in Florida. As you know, it's a very, very expensive area to live. Ask the president. Ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful, wonderful place, Palm Beach, and that's where his gallery features him. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Lucy.
Okay, I think, simply put, let's just put aside the fact and how big Dwev is as an artist. Been painting for over 50 years now, hugely successful, globally recognised. But I think these are the paintings people genuinely enjoy living with every single day, because they bring warmth, they bring elegance and this sort of wonderful vitality to our homes. And, I think he paints the life that we'd all love to live as well. We can't always hop on a plane and go somewhere or get onto the ocean, but it's almost like you can every single day, because you've got this wonderful work of art hanging there. Look at the rich brushstrokes that you can see in this printer's proof. Printer's proof, look at that luster. Thank you, Richard. You've really, really shown that to the best advantage there. He is an artist who works with a palette knife, so you're going to have that rich brushstrokes. You're going to feel them. You brush the back of your hand over it and you'll feel them. For me, I love the neon colours in this as well. Let's go to my screen. So we can see that Dwev is quite the character. And his wife as well. She was a professional ballerina, so quite the power couple. And one day he came home with paint in his hair and he was about to wash it out, and he thought, no, I'm not going to do that, and it stuck. So he now has lots of different colours hair. I want you to see this. Printer's proof. Is a printer's proof more valuable? Yes, usually of greater value. Rarer still is the printer's proof, which is given to the printer as a gift. Not often that they get released into the retail space. Here is Kev in his studio, here is Dwev in his studio, painting at his easel. And as Richard said, beautiful scenes, very inspirational for him, and those Ferraris and incredible cars. A major deal. Over to you, Richard.
I worked with him. He's a wonderful man, and in 2008 we created a painting for the then inaugurated President Obama, which I sold in auction later on. It went for $35,000. So that's the level he sells at. These are the rarest of the printer's proofs, the prints, because they're done on canvas. He then hand paints over it. So you think about it, is originals. If you want an original, they're probably between $15,000 and $35,000. The nearest I can get you to an original is this. Michael, you are in the lead at 600 still. So I'm going to give you one final minute with me. Get on the phone if anyone else wants it. Come on, give me your best and final bids now. 600 bid, I'll take $50 bids to move on. Is there anyone else, yes or no? At 600. At 600 bid, I'm going to sell it then. At 600, is there another 50 to move on? Give me your best and final bid on the beautiful Dwev, the French art star. He lives in America, been here for decades. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm selling it now. It's about to go. It is about to sell. I'm going to sell this rare printer's proof. There were only two in the world, and you got one here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sell it. Take another 50. Michael's in the lead then. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, John. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm selling it at 600 plus the buyer's premium. Michael, you've got it. Congratulations. And if someone wants the other one, I will match the price. All you got to do is call in 600 plus the buyer's premium. That is a deal. 600 on the final rare printer's proof. There's one available. It's hand signed. All of this, if you feel it with the back of your hand, you'll feel it's not smooth at all. I can tell exactly where he's gone over it with the palette knife, enhanced the piece, try to make it look as much original as possible. You've seen all the texture, you've seen all the finish there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's on canvas, and he even signs it on the back. He puts the title Quintessence and his signature on the back of the piece, ladies and gentlemen. So, a very valuable artist, wonderful piece. If you like the colours and you like the scene of that sailing scene, in fact, John, the sailing scenes are usually his most desirable pieces. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you 1 final minute to get on the phone. There's one available. Who wants it? Lucy, what do you think of that? 600 plus the buyer's premium. You cannot frame it for that. Here we go.
I think that's a spectacular deal. And I would definitely be taking advantage of it because I just love the colours in this. I love the richness. I love the brush strokes. I think his colours are electric. You know, his style is unmistakable. Dwayne is a burst of energy himself, but his paintings provide that burst of energy for your home, you know. And I think, too, it tells us something. When Ferrari and Lamborghini want an artist, they go to Dwayne. They could go to any artist they choose. They go to him. So he's both this master painter. He's a concert-level cellist. You know, he is a force of nature, and his works are just absolutely dynamite. Let's go to my screen, or rather, let's go to you, Richard. We haven't got time, have we?
We're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. If you want it, you've got to get on the phone. We're out of time now, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on with the show. John, let's bring in the next fantastic piece. And ladies and gentlemen, we have coming up for auction now an amazing work of art, an amazing opportunity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to offer you, he is the world's most famous artist of our time today. The last major movement of the 20th century was called the pop art movement. The pop art movement led by artists like Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, Jean-Michel Basquiat, all the greats here in America. However, over in the UK, there's a little old artist who's selling for millions and millions of dollars, and I've got something that's been released by the museum in England. We just received it, ladies and gentlemen. This is for the Urban Art exhibition, which was created at the Peterborough Museum and Art Gallery in England in 2021. They only release them maybe twice a year, ladies and gentlemen, so it's a very exclusive edition. It is by the world famous Banksy. Lucy's going to tell you the story of the shredded work of art. Is world famous, and what it sold for, what it ended up selling for, and ladies and gentlemen, you will be amazed by the work of Banksy. He is the #1, and I say this wholeheartedly, the #1 artist, desirable artist in the world today that is living. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's called Have a Nice Day, and this is the notorious Banksy, created for the exhibition in Peterborough. They're limited. They are released by the museum, and we've just received them. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've got this piece here, and it is by Banksy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start it at only $500 on the Banksy. Lucy, let's tell everyone what these are selling for currently, if you can find one. Here's Lucy.
I mean, look, Banksy. I mean, there are many artists in the world, but there's only one Banksy. And I think if anyone is asked to name an artist, generally speaking, they will probably say Banksy. Maybe they'll say Picasso, but I would bet Banksy is going to be that #1 response. And for good reason. You know, this is an artist who really did create such an incredible change within the art world. He is responsible for our art movement of the 21st century, which is street art. When he first jumped onto the scene, though, people weren't quite sure what to make of him. But there were a few of us, I wasn't one of them, but there were a few people who sort of recognised that this was an artist who was going to go big. And they started investing early on, and now they are very happily sitting on fortunes because, yes, his works sell for absolute millions, which I will show you. So now is your opportunity, and I don't want anyone to look back on this moment a few years from now and think, why didn't I do it? Because we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, you know, when works by Banksy are going to become absolutely out of reach. And mostly they are. So this is your chance. Have a Nice Day is a really iconic piece. This is what he's all about, you know, those smiling faces, but armed guards. We'll talk more about that in a moment. I just need you to understand the opportunity you've got right now. So if we go to my screen, we are bidding at the moment on an offset lithograph which was created for an exhibition. So we have got here for you an auction result exactly the same. It was created for an exhibition. And what's interesting to me and what should be interesting to you as well is the estimate was between $400 to $500. It actually achieved close to $11,000. So what does that mean? It means there was a lot of competition for this particular piece. It was sold in London, and I think what it tells us is there is huge demand for works like this because they are collectible and they offer you the opportunity to own something directly connected to a certain point in Banksy's career. Another one here, close to $6,500. That's without buyer's premium. So $6,500, probably about $7,500 for an offset lithograph, again, a poster. So really, Banksy's extraordinarily powerful, himself and his works. This was his launching pad. This is what he was known for, Girl with Balloon. And you can find works that don't even have a signature, just a poster, a cinema poster that was once hanging in a cinema for sale at $95,000. This is the work that Richard asked me to tell you about. This was an original painting, Girl with Balloon. It sold for 1.5, nearly 1.6 million in 2020. This is the one that was shredded the moment the hammer came down. So a year later, it was resold for 25.3 million. That's because it's Banksy. And really, anything connected to Banksy is going to be of premium value. And I've shown you this at the start of the show. This is what happened when his pieces went through initially, when he first jumped onto the scene in the early 2000s, $385, then $23,000 a few years later, $82,500, because it's Banksy. So ladies and gentlemen, this truly is an opportunity for you. This was where it first appeared. It appeared in Shoreditch, which is the epicenter really for street art. And another close-up there. So let's come back to our work. So my question to you is, are you going to go for it? Or are you going to sit there and then tomorrow really regret that you didn't? Back to you, Richard.
Well, this is the one your grandchildren say, I can't believe you missed a Banksy at $500. We have not received a bid yet. Unbelievable for the world's #1 artist, John. Thank you. And this is an amazing piece. 3-minute clock. If I don't receive a bid in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to pass it out. I've never done that on a Banksy, ladies and gentlemen. So, offset lithograph, just released by the museum in England. It is the offset lithograph in colour on thick woven paper from the deluxe edition executed for the Urban Exhibition at the Peterborough, that's how they pronounce it, those funny English people, Peterborough Museum and Art Gallery in England in 2021. World famous museum. They have held many exhibitions of Banksy and have just released this work, ladies and gentlemen. We're very, very pleased to have it on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, a great, great piece. If I don't see a bid in the next 1 minute and 15 seconds, it will go out. So, ladies and gentlemen, up to you. Here's Lucy. Lucy, we should be selling this somewhere between, I would say, auction estimate, $3,000 to $3,500. Auction estimate, $3,000 to $3,500.
This is a global cultural phenomenon, you know, and this is classic Banksy. You hang this in your home and immediately people obviously can see it's a Banksy. That's impressive by itself. But what he's doing here as well, he's contrasting the friendly language of consumer culture with the intimidating presence of authority and military policing. So the result is both humorous and unsettling. And this is what Banksy wants. This is what he's known for. This is why we like him. You know, we feel a little bit rebellious when we admire a Banksy or we own a Banksy. So truly, I think this is one of those moments, because Banksy is one of those artists, one of those very few contemporary artists that's become a household name, whilst no one knows who he is. I mean, there's rumours, obviously, but still not being confirmed. And collectors across the world actively pursue Banksy's work, and that's made him one of the most sought-after artists of the 21st century. To have an auction record of 25.3 million, that is a major deal. You know, so we know that his works regularly achieve impressive results, so that should give you confidence when it comes to bidding right now and taking advantage of this. His art really transcends the traditional art world. It appeals to all of us. This is why we love street art. We are driving it. We're driving the success of these artists, but Banksy was the founding father of it. So if you're building an art collection, a significant art collection of the 21st century street art, this is what you would want within it. And if you're just starting out, what a great piece to start, because you will demonstrate what a great eye you have, how astute you are, and at the same time it reflects your personality and perhaps your edge, you know, because this is what Banksy wants. Every Banksy tells a story. They are conversation pieces that continue to feel relevant because of the themes that he's chosen: power, consumerism, war, freedom. They're timeless. This is an artist who does deliberately start a conversation with his stencils. And I think when you look at this work, you're going to see that. Now, I do need to remind everybody, because perhaps you just joined us, those auction results for similar pieces. Let's go to my screen really quickly, then back to Richard. Nearly 11,000. You're at $900. And that's it. Over to you, Richard.
1,000 was bid. 1,000 bid. Thank you very much. At 1,000 bid. 1,000 bid, and it's on sale. Ladies and gentlemen, at 1,000 bid. 1,000 bid. 1,000 bid. 1,000 bid. 1,000. It's selling. Going once. Going twice. Then at 1,000. Sold and gone. John, would you bring in our second piece? I'm going to give you an opportunity now, ladies and gentlemen, on the second one, which is also released by the same museum. This is a famous piece. These in England, let's zoom in on it, are called trolleys. So shopping carts in England are called trolleys. So Banksy called this piece Trolleys. It's been released by the gallery now. What I'm going to do, hold on to your bidders there, because what I want to do is give you an opportunity. You can have number one. I've established the price. You've got it, Michael, I believe. If not, it was the lady next to you. So ladies and gentlemen, so one, obviously the price, it went for $1,000. You can have number two. If you only want one of them, you can have number one or number two at $1,000. However, I want to do something very, very special for you. So $2,000 plus your buyer's premium would make it $2,200. I'm going to save you an extra $700 if you want to have the pair, but we've only got 4 of these released by the museum, 4 of these released by the museum. I'll let you have the pair for $1,500 plus the buyer's premium. $1,500 plus the buyer's premium. Get on the phone if you want the pair. $1,500. So, ladies and gentlemen, $1,000 each or $1,500 for the pair. I cannot be fairer than that. Lucy, that's the deal. Over to you, my dear. We've got 3 pairs available. 4 pairs.
I think these will look... 4 pairs, okay. Well, I think these will look incredible in someone's home. You know, the two together really do create quite the statement. And the trolleys one is probably one of his funniest. It's just a commentary really on consumerism, and it was first shown in the Barely Legal exhibition in Los Angeles in 2006 before it was released as a print. And it's showing 3 prehistoric hunters hunting, but they're not hunting buffalo, they're hunting the supermarket trolley. So what he's trying to tell us is really that, you know, human instincts haven't changed. We're still hunting to survive, but what we're pursuing now is consumption rather than the food itself, you know. So again, just really cool, very edgy, what you want in a Banksy. And if I take you over to my screen, I just want to remind everyone, because, I mean, to be honest with you, what you've got here, I mean, current bid for the pair, $1,500. I'm going to show you something, but just bear with me. This was a bit of a surprise for me. So let's just quickly go, if you don't mind, Rich. I just want to show everyone this. Let's go to my screen. An auction result there for trolleys. It was the painting, 6.6 million. Incredible. And then some of the prints, we're talking, 45 to £70,000. Over to you, Richard.
Well, thank you very much, Lucy. So what I've done, ladies and gentlemen, the world famous pieces, the original of this sold for over 5 million. Same with this, ladies and gentlemen. They've been released by the museum. John, I believe one pair just went. Thank you very much. Number 1 is available, or number 2. You can only, if you only want one, you can have it for $1,000. I established the price there with our bidder. But if you want a pair, I'm going to save you an extra $500 off the hammer price. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you the pair for only $1,500. $1,500 for both of them, or $1,000 for each. You choose number 1 or number 2, whichever image you prefer. Is that clear? Here is Lucy, and I'll give you 2 minutes to decide. Then we're moving on with the show. So 1 or 2. Whichever one you want, they're $1,000 each. If you want the pair, we've only got 3 pairs available. They are for only $1,500. You can have a pair. Can't be fairer than that. Here's Lucy.
Yeah, let's go to my screen. So we know that this is an artist, obviously, who generates a lot at auction. I mean, he is just truly remarkable. And some of his originals, you know, 13.9 million. Some of his works, they always make headline news as well around the world. That's how big he is. And I don't know whether you know, he actually has a hotel called the Waldorf Hotel, which just makes me laugh every single time. So if we come back to our piece, know that what you're buying into is an artist that just has that momentum, has that staying power, and has that track record at auction, which other artists could only dream of. And he just did it by creating works on the street and just somehow created this whole art movement that we're all invested in. So this is a major deal for you to own 2 works by Banksy, and I've shown you those auction results for similar works that are also exhibition posters. I just think this is truly one of those opportunities you can't pass on. Let's go back to my screen. I think ours are actually nicer than the pieces that I've shown you. Like that one there, 11,000, and another one there with buyer's premium would be around that 7,500 mark. So if we come back to our piece, these work, or pieces I should say, this is, I think, an opportunity that you cannot pass by. These are 2 classic works by Banksy. I love the fact that they really match as well, so you can hang them in your home and make that statement. I think anybody who visits will definitely, of course, know who it is. And who knows what will happen in the future. I think you'll be very pleased that you made that sort of leap of faith and got on the phones and just started to take advantage and bid, or, you know, go for both of them. So ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for you. It is a Banksy. He is the artist who says, as soon as I cut my first stencil, I could feel the power there. I also like the political edge. All graffiti is low-level dissent, but stencils have an extra history. They've been used to start revolutions and stop wars. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, last chance, last call. You've got 1 pair available only now at $1,500. If you want them individually, I'll do them at $1,000 each. So you can have number 1, which is the tank, or number 2 is called the trolleys. And ladies and gentlemen, this one is actually known as Have a Nice Day, with the tank and the smiley faces. $1,000 each, or $1,500. There's 1 pair left if you want them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on with the show, so get on the phone now if you'd like that. There's only 1 pair of the Banksys available, so come to me then, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move on with the show. Coming up now, it's rabbit season, and we have a wonderful, wonderful work by a world-famous British artist, another British artist. It's a bit like the Beatles invasion. Ladies and gentlemen, lot 5 is going to be an original painting. I'm going to show you the piece now. This is a large, large painting. It's created by the world famous Harry Bunce. He's exhibited. I'm just going to show you what this is painted on. Listen. Good morning. Come in. This is painted on a wooden panel, so fantastic, painted on wooden panel. That's not something new, that's something artists have done literally since time began. And this is hand signed. It's an original painting featuring that sort of essence of Warhol with the Campbell's soup. This one's called McGregor's rabbit soup, and these are his special characters. It's a one of a kind, it's a unique painting. And ladies and gentlemen, this in a gallery now would be somewhere around 12 to 15,000 depending on the gallery. I'm going to open it at only 2,000, and here is Harry Bunce.
I got started in art as a very young child. I think it's just something that came naturally to me. At school I was known as the one who was good at art, which I think is a common thing with a lot of artists. And then I went to the local art school. Then it all changed slightly for me because they almost killed my love of art. And then I did a bit of a U-turn at about age 20 and I went into fashion. Yeah, despite, I think, looking back, my heart not being completely in the fashion world, I think a huge turning point was when I attended a 40th birthday party, and the only thing all these people I hadn't seen for 20 years asked me was, "Hi Harry, how's the art going?" And that is when I knew I was on the wrong road. I got back into the art world. That was a frightening thing to do, but I was determined to do it. So I just worked around my other commitments. I wanted to appeal to everyone. So then I thought, well, I'll do things that I like. So I like storybooks, I like Beatrix Potter. I wanted it to be accessible, and I also wanted it to sort of not be arty. So I went with that, and once I focused on that, I was off. Now I've established my character, which is generally a rabbit. I think people who like my work like to see what he's going to do next. I think the rabbit character in my work is really me. Rabbit is an underdog, which I think I'm a bit of an underdog in the art world. He just gets up to stuff, so it actually makes it easier for me, I think, the fact that I have a solid character. I wouldn't see myself as a street artist, but I do use street art techniques. Aerosols, I do use stencils, wax crayons. It's just got that feel about it that is in the ether at the moment, I think. As an artist, I think you're a bit of a sponge, so your inspirations come from unexpected places. On the piece behind me, these markings are from Neolithic stone carvings. I don't know why I'm interested in that, I just am. I just find it fascinating, like on little corners of Stonehenge or something like that. There's these markings that have been there for centuries and centuries, and so I've incorporated them into the work just because they're lovely patterns. The proudest moment in my artistic career was when the great Jamaican music producer and musician, Mr. Lee Scratch Perry, wore a t-shirt with my rabbit emblazoned on it. That was my proudest moment. For the future, I hope to carry on the course I'm on. I'm very much enjoying it. I cannot believe I make a living from art. It says artist on my passport now, and I just hope that I can reach more people in the States, Australia. I recently had a breakthrough in Taiwan. I just love it. I just want to carry on.
Welcome back, everyone. Everyone loves Harry Bunce. He truly is just one of those artists that I think we all can connect with. He doesn't expect too much from you. He just makes you smile. And when an original is released into the market, people, collectors, chase it. And he has been described as Beatrix Potter meets Quentin Tarantino and been dubbed the rural Banksy. So I quite like that he's followed on from Banksy. But he is one of those artists, I'm going to be honest with you, whose work does not stick around for long. Collectors don't wait. They move. His editions really do get snapped up. His originals get snapped up really quickly. There's a sense of urgency around owning one, and that's because he's got momentum, not hype. He's got momentum. His work has this strong personality, as you learned in that video of him. Really, people follow his releases and they follow his originals. They want to know what's going to happen next. They just love the stories. You get this feeling of nostalgia when you see a work by him, and then you also can appreciate the incredible talent that he has to be able to create something like this that we're looking at that sort of has echoes of Warhol within it, but at the same time has his own style. Is very clever indeed. And so from an art market perspective, Harry Bunce is fascinating because he definitely has something that many emerging artists and established artists don't have. He has staying power. He isn't a trend. He literally is building a legacy. So let's go to my screen and let's just have a look at some of his works. You definitely know a Bunce when you've seen one. So you will always recognize a Bunce. And there he is in his studio with one of his famous soup creations. These really are, they're the ones that get snapped up so quickly. And this was before he met, and he had this chance meeting with Screen One, who had worked with Banksy, and they are really the people who elevated his works to what we know it today. They gave his works a little bit of an edge. You're not quite sure what it is, but there's an edge there. And that's what I think is really appealing. And then he's found himself at these really wonderful events at Sotheby's, mixing with some of the greatest artists. He's hanging there next to a Julian Opie. And this was an event to raise money. So he is now being asked to raise money for some really high-end causes. And then we know that he's had his sculpture released, which we will, I think, show you some of these in just a minute. But if we come back to our work, I get very excited by Bunce, you know, because he's carved out this very unique position in the art world with this cast of not always so cuddly creatures. But I think this is just one of my favorites. I really enjoy those echoes of Andy Warhol within it, but at the same time bringing us right into 21st century with his own creativity and cleverness and happiness and little nods as well. If you notice that heart in the top left, that's, I think, a little nod to Keith Haring. So this is what artists tend to do. Now, this one, as we know, is an original. It's an original mixed media painting on wood. For some reason, wood just gives it that extra elevation, that extra edge, I think. And there's just something about having a work like this. It does feel really solid and just, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I'm really a big fan of anything that's been created on wood. And collectors really will fight very hard for these originals, and you're not competing necessarily with casual buyers, you are competing with true collectors. So don't hesitate on this. Over to you, Richard.
Go then, ladies and gentlemen, on the original. It's a large painting. These are a lot of money in galleries, approaching, I would say, anywhere between $12,000 and $15,000 is probably fair now. Lucy will confirm in a second. But ladies and gentlemen, he is represented in over 90 galleries. Now 36 is the bid. I see there are two bidders bidding. John, who's in the lead at the moment? Virginia, thank you very much. Good morning and nice to see you. 3,600 is your bid. 3,600 is the bid. Harry Bunsen, lot number 5, in the soup. In the soup. I've been in it many times in my life, ladies and gentlemen, in the soup. Do you have that expression here, John, when you're in trouble? When you're in trouble, you're in the soup. I've been in trouble many times in my life, as you might imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Bunce, just ask my mother. British artist, born in 1967. In the soup, red. In fact, you never guess I was a very, very shy child. Original mixed media painting on wooden panel, signed and initialed by the artist on the lower right, and it is a unique work, and it was executed by Bunce in 2022. Who's in the lead now at 4,000 bid?
New Jersey.
New Jersey, nice to see you this morning. And ladies and gentlemen, Virginia, you've got to come up now. It is the only original I've got here. It is a large piece, and as I said, Lucy, these are at least 12,000 to 15,000. I'm going to be in England in September, so I'm looking forward to seeing his work in the gallery. He's got a big show in London at Dover Street in the West End of London, which is Mayfair, the most expensive area of the United Kingdom, and his gallery shows there. There you see it's painted on English beech wood, ladies and gentlemen, so it's called In the Soup. Harry Bunce, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a magnificent original, and these collectors of his work, not only for these but his sculpture as well, people line the streets waiting for his gallery show to open. The red carpet events, he goes in, everything in the gallery sold out. 4,000, I've got New Jersey in the lead. Virginia, you're going to have to come up if you want it. Here is Lucy.
Is that, you know, he isn't trying to be, as he said in his own words, too arty. He just wanted work that would just be uplifting, easy to understand, and created out of all of the things that he loved. So you definitely see the influence, don't you, with Beatrix Potter, and who loves, I mean, I love Beatrix Potter. So that's what I really enjoy about him. And I just think, you know, this is art that we need right now. We just don't need anything that expects too much of us. We just need art that's just going to make us smile. And that is why people really chase his work. So yes, you're absolutely right. His original 10 to 15,000. Mayfair, where he's being shown that's my old stomping grounds and where I used to work in the galleries there. And this is the type of art that we're all seeking out these days. You know, it is these very clever pieces that have a nod to the 20th century, but they're very firmly in the 21st century. They have that sense of nostalgia, but at the same time, they have a creative genius about them, which he most definitely does. If I take you to my screen as well, you know, this is a charitable foundation that he worked with, and he was asked to contribute alongside the likes of some really major names, including, that's a Johnny Depp coming up right there. I don't know whether you knew, but Johnny Depp is also an artist working with a major chain of galleries here in the United Kingdom. So he's high profile, you know, and he's getting the exposure he needs now. Let's come over to our work. He's coming over to the United States. So this is your opportunity really to get in right now before he goes absolutely stratospheric. And that is going to happen. You know, he has built the momentum now. And you're seeing him now more and more at these different high profile shows. It's a really exciting time. I just adore that he has these beautiful rabbits that he clearly enjoys as well. And it's a little bit of a him, you know, there's a little bit of an autobiographical story there. You know, he said to me when I went to interview him that, yeah, you know, sometimes it's him working through his life and he's portraying it on the canvas. And I think that's just really charming, and I think that comes through onto the canvas as well. So this is an original. Only one of you can own this. Only one of you can acquire it. Only one of you can hang it proudly in your home. Who is it going to be? I really hope the person who wants it the most is the one that wins it. So good luck to all of you. And what more can I say? I mean, this is one of my favourite artists. He's a truly gorgeous man as well. You know, 20 years in the fashion world, nearly fell out of love with art, and thankfully realised he was on the wrong track and came back into it, and we're so glad he did. Over to you, Richard.
Lucy, before you go, can you concur whether they are in the sort of $15,000 range nowadays in galleries for these large originals? Just to reiterate, someone was interested.
I mean, and that's if you can find them. They're really difficult to find, the originals. So, you know, it truly is an opportunity here to gain something way less than the retail price. Yes, Richard, over to you.
Thank you. So I hope that answered your question on line 6. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I'll give you more up-to-date pricing when I go to the UK in September, but they're well in the region of $15,000 now. We're at 4,900, 49 it's selling. At 49, I'll give you 1 minute with me. At 49, get a bit of 49, 1 minute clock, there we go. At 49, I'm bid. At 49, now 5, now 5. At 5,000, I'm bid. Thank you, New Jersey. At 5, get a bit of 5 bid. At 5, get a bit of 5. Is there anyone else now? At 5,000 bid. At 5 bid. At 5,000 bid. At 5 bid. At 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter. How much? 5. Thank you. 5 bid. At 5 bid. At 55, get a bit of 5 bid. 5 it is bid. 5 and I'm selling. At 5 and it's about to go. Is there anyone else now? At 5 is bid. 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 How much? 6,000. Thank you. 6,000 bid. 6,000 with Texas now. 6,000 bid. I'm selling now. 6,000. New Jersey, you will have to come up. Virginia's out. I've got Texas in the lead at 6,000, and it's about to sell. At 6,000 bid. At 6,000 bid. Is there anyone else? Yes or no? At 6,000 bid. 6,000 it's going then. At 6,000 on sale with you. At 6,000 bid going once. Good little power bid there, Texas. At 6,000, final call for bids. 6,000, the gavel's high. Going once then. Are you sure, New Jersey? Thanks for bidding. 6,000 is bid twice. 6,000, gavel's high. Sold and gone 6,000. Thank you, Texas. Whoa, thank you, New Jersey as well. But ladies and gentlemen, there could only be one winner on that one. And the same with this. We're going to offer an amazing piece now. It's one of his monumental sculpture, a huge, huge piece. This is one of the little fellas here by Bunce. Ladies and gentlemen, they are extremely popular. And again, these are the ones they're lining up for to get because they become collector's items. This large sculpture, ladies and gentlemen, it is enormous sculpture. So you need a good spot for this in your home. I'm going to measure it before I take it to the auction. And that's got to be at least 40 inches high. And on the width here, I'm going to put that in at 26, 40 by 26, ladies and gentlemen, with the mirror finish. It is absolutely beautiful. It's hand signed by Harry Bunce here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a chance to own this one, and I'm going to start it. Again, this should be probably, John, I would say in the region of 15 to 18,000. Is that correct? In a gallery. I'm going to start it under 10,000. I'm going to start it under 7. Let's kick it off. I'll start at 3,000. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Lucy with the magnificent sculpture by the one and only Harry Bunce. Here's Lucy.
Wow, I mean, look at that. It's spectacular, isn't it? And I think this truly is something that has, or rather, you know, it's on that same level as a Jeff Koons. And Jeff Koons, we had no clue what was going to happen when Jeff Koons first presented his mirror finished sculptures, but we know that those went through auction at 98 million. What we also know, and what I know, is that these works took 6 years to complete. That is because of the craftsmanship. You know, it took a long time to perfect what we're looking at right now. So I think all of these things need to be taken into account. You know, what you have got and what you've got the opportunity to bid on is absolute craftsmanship and technical masterclass, you know, as well as creativity and genius. You know, this is an artist who truly is able to create works of art at another level. And the name as well. Now, when he was on the show, he came over and he was on the show and we talked about his names. And he said that even though I say so myself, I think I'm really good at naming my works of art. And he is. This particular one is called Palooka, as that's a name for a fighter that's put in a fight that he's very unlikely to win, a fall guy. But you never know, it can all change in the ring. So this is what we're looking at. And he talked about, didn't he, being the underdog. And so there's so much to love. I think there's a lot of warmth in his pieces. And immediately you connect with them. This is something different. You've got that mirror finish. It's going to reflect back at you, your environment at you, every single time you look at it. You put it on display. It just creates a statement. Let's go to my screen and we'll see that this particular piece went on a tour of London. I think that's also just delightful. And yeah, I mean, he is so proud of this achievement. And I know that this really was a labour of love to get these perfected and get them to where they are now so that you now have an opportunity to own one. And that's really special. I think sometimes if we come back to our work, we don't really appreciate how much time these artists take to perfect what we're looking at. And in this case, it was 6 years of blood, sweat and tears, but it all came good in the end. Over to you, Richard.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, there are no bids on the giant sculpture here, Koni Palooka, and it is the platinum finish. So it's called the platinum finish, hand-finished composite sculpture with mirror polish. You don't see a lot of platinum about these days, ladies and gentlemen, but platinum, as many of you will remember, is more expensive than gold. Signed by the artist and numbered on the base. It's one of 7 examples from the edition of the artist. There are only 7 of these in the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to sell to the highest bidder, but I cannot bid for you. I put up a 3-minute clock now. 3-minute clock, ladies and gentlemen. If I don't see a bid in the next 2 minutes, John, unfortunately, dear old Bunny will have to go out. 3,000 is the opening bid. They're literally between $15,000 and $18,000. There's only 7 of these in the world. Quite heavy, ladies and gentlemen. So let's bring in. Could I have the acrylic podium for this, please? And ladies and gentlemen, I am going to display it so you can see it exactly as I would display it myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've got a minute and a half. If not, it's going out unsold.
Look at him. I mean, that shine is just incredible. Now, I have to say to everyone, I think this is something we need to all consider. You know, not every piece of art has to change the history of art. Sometimes it simply changes the atmosphere of our homes. You know, it can make you smile, this would, wouldn't it, after a difficult day, become the first thing your guests will comment on when they walk through the door. And I think that is a wonderful reason to acquire a piece of art. We often focus on rarity and investment, but don't underestimate, please don't underestimate the value of living with something that brings you joy every single day. I know I have many pieces at home that I've had for a long time and I still love them, if not more, as much as I did the day that I bought them. And I think this is what will happen with a work like this. It's also incredibly modern, very contemporary, exactly what everyone's looking for at the moment. It truly does, I think, give, it's got that status effect, doesn't it? You know, and that's exactly what a Jeff Koons does as well. So I think it's a really interesting piece to collect. It's a massive, it's a major deal. I like how we've displayed it on that resin plinth, and those are very easy to get your hands on and not very expensive either. So definitely get one of those. And I think it just could go anywhere, wherever it's going to be in your home, it's going to make a statement. And I think too, you know, like I said, this is just that moment that you've got to trust your gut. I really do like how large this work is and that mirror finish, because you can see yourself in it, and that then you become part of the art. Your environment becomes part of the art as well. And Kony made his first appearance in 2020, and then the project, he started the project, Harry did, and it just became bogged down with trying to perfect it. So it's taken 6 more years to get to this place and for you to own this work. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is an expression, they breed like rabbits. So with that in mind, I brought you an example. Now, the current bid, John, is $3,400. I believe these small ones are nearly $4,500 in the gallery. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So these are $4,500 in the gallery. There's only 7 of these. They're giant pieces. They are $18,000. So what you're bidding at the moment is less than the little one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you one last minute. I'm going to sell it. 3-4, and you said it's with New York. I'm selling now at 34. I'll give you 1 minute. Here's Lucy. Last chance on the giant sculpture by Harry Bunce.
And the other thing to consider, everyone, is the fact that this did take 6 years to execute, and we're not quite sure if he will do any more. So you really will have something very collectible indeed. And generally speaking, artists don't do as many sculptures as they might create in painting. So you are buying into a sector that there's much less in circulation, which is always a good thing. So I think, you know, if you are looking at this right now and you're just currently debating with yourself, I wouldn't be hesitating, because he is an artist that truly is gaining momentum, you know, building up this real loyal collector's base all over the world. And I can tell you that the likes of Picasso, when they went into sculpture, and Salvador Dali the same, it's these pieces that become the collector's items. So ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you want something really that's going to create impact in your home, make a statement, become quite a conversation starter, and also bring you joy every single day as you see yourself and your room within the piece of art, then this is the one for you. I love the piece that we put next to it. And Kony too, you know, he came up with that idea because of the cone. Then he realized that Kony was a name for a rabbit, and that's how it all started. And Rocky, the arms aloft, he's the winner, as in the movie, but in the movie they thought he was the palooka. So there we go. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable. At $3,800, I'm selling it. And what you're bidding at the moment is what this costs in a gallery. This is an $18,000 piece. I've just left it there to show you the size of the piece, ladies and gentlemen. At $3,800, this is not included. We're bidding on this piece. I just want to show you the gallery comparison. That is $4,000 plus. This currently we bid 3,800. Last chance with me then, you got 30 seconds. Get on the phone if you want it. At 3,800 bid. At 38, get a bid of 38 bid. At 38 bid. 38 bid, and we're bidding on the monumental sculpture. At 38, give me your best and final bid now. Give me your best and final bid. It's on sale. It's selling now. It's going now. Anyone else, yes or no? Anyone else, yes or no? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. What you're bidding is less than the price of the tiny one. I'm selling it. It's about to go. Is there anyone else, yes or no? Anyone else, yes or no? I'm going to sell it. It's on sale with you then. On sale with you, yes or no? I know you're registering, so if you want to get your bid in, you have to be quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, last chance. That's the purpose of getting registered nice and early. You can do that anytime. Last chance, last call. Last chance, last call. 39 bid. 39 bid. 39 bid. 39 bid. 39, got a bid of 39, 39, 39 with Roxy at 39. 39. John, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I believe there's only one left in the world now. Is that correct on this? Only one left. I'm going to match the price. Roxy, you got it at 3.9. Congratulations. And if someone wants the last remaining one in the world, remember there were only 7 to begin with. There's one more available at 3,900. Roxy, you've got it. Congratulate Roxy. Lucy, it's over to you at $3,900. What a piece.
Let's go to my screen and just see that he's actually been quite busy, Coney. Here he was at the Perez Art Museum in Miami. And, you know, so I just think this is an artist who is gaining such huge exposure. And you can see that people really find these sculptures incredibly exciting, and so they should. They are exciting. They are, you know, just craftsmanship encapsulated, and there he was on our show. So you can obviously check him out and see all of his different happenings and what he's been up to. But if we come back to our work, this, I think, is really the opportunity of the morning to own this spectacular work by Harry Bunce. And know that, you know, the 6 years, I think that's also something we really have to talk about. And at first glance, his works might seem playful and simple and a little cheeky, but don't underestimate them. It is deceptive simplicity, you know, because instantly they're relatable. I've told you that beneath that incredible mirror finish is a lot of work, precision, craftsmanship, technical know-how. Let's go back to Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do now, there is still that one available, I believe. Is that correct, John?
That's
still
correct.
available at the moment. So if you want it, it's 3,900. But I'm going to start an auction on the little fella. We're going to start an auction on the little fella. Is that fair, John? I'm going to start it. I want to see how many of you are paying attention. These are $4,000 plus in a gallery. I'm going to start it at $100 and I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. Get on the phone. I'm auctioning the little fella. There's one left of the large one at 3,900. I'm starting the little fella at $100 and I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. And John, have I got the certificate there? Let's just see. Let's go to the certificate of authenticity, and it is the Coney Rocky in platinum, the small edition. There are only 20 examples of this in the world. I'm starting it at $100 only. One of the 20 examples. So the large one, there were only 7 in the world. The small one, there are 20 in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I've started it at $100 graphics. Let's get on. Hand finished composite sculpture with mirror polish, signed by the artist and numbered on the base. One of only 20 examples. $100 starts me. 3-minute clock, and I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. Here's Lucy. Lucy, we're taking the little bunny to the auction now. This is the one we're doing. If someone wants the last large one, I'll match the price at $39. I'm starting this at only $100, and it is, again, like the large one, signed on the base here. Let's have a look. Signed on the base. There you have it. You've got the signature. You can just about see it in black ink on the back here, signed by Harry Bunce, ladies and gentlemen. And also on the underside it says artist proof. Artist proof 1 of 20. Artist proof 1 of 20. I'm auctioning the tiny one now. $100 starts me, and you've got 2 minutes with Lucy.
I think, you know, too, we have to talk about the fact that there's this real sense with these works of rarity and exclusivity, because we're seeing these at the very beginning, before they become widely known, before they become widely collected. They've got presence, they've got impact, and they bring something very different into your space, into your home. This is not just art for the wall, is it? It's a statement piece. So I think this is an opportunity for you to own something that's very elevated, distinctive, truly special, is design-led, meticulously refined. You know, every curve, every surface has been considered and perfected. It's taken 6 years to get to this place. And that is why it is associated with iconic and collectible sculptures like Jeff Koons. You know, and we know what happened to Jeff Koons. The other thing I need to show you is, yes, Harry Bunce is in 90 galleries here in the United Kingdom and Europe and in the United States, because the company he is represented by in the United Kingdom now has a presence in the United States. So there is going to come a time when these works are going to be out of reach. He's working with, and let's go to my screen as well, the likes of Clarence House, so the King, you know, the King, and projects to do with the King's passions and things like that. So this was actually part of that, the big egg hunt, which was last year. Also some huge collaborations with Keep Britain Tidy. He did the artwork for that, Keep Bristol Tidy. And this is what it's like when he has a show. Everybody goes, everybody's spilling out there onto the pavements, because he is now becoming this incredibly big name. And there is your work on his trip around London, which is just truly delightful to see, isn't it? Let's come back to our work. So I think here, what we're talking about here is something new, something genuine and exciting, and you will own a piece of it. Only 20 examples in the entire world. I'm not quite sure if he will do any more, because I know what a lot went into creating just these. And this is Rocky, and who wouldn't love a little bit of Coney Rocky in their home? Over to you, Richard.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm selling it now. The beautiful little sculpture here. I love this. I love the tiny one. What a sweet sculpture that is, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful little piece. That only 20 examples in the world. Got a nice weight to it. It's in the platinum chrome finish, and I'm selling it now, ladies and gentlemen. At $8.50, it's going. I'll take 9 bid. 9 bid. 9 got a bit of 9. At 9 got a bit of 9. Come on, I'll take 1,000 now. At 9 got a bit of 9, and it's on sale with you. At 900 bid. At 900 bid. 900 bid, and it's going. At 900 bid. 900 bid, I'm selling. 900 plus the buyer's premium, it's selling then at 900. Going once, going twice at 900. Sold and gone. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have 3 of those. So the first 3 people to call in, the 900 plus the buyer's premium, I'll take your bid there. There are 3 available now. 3 available. You've got to call in very, very quickly. John, let me know when they're sold out. Lucy, they're going to sell out very quickly at that price. So it's over to you, my dear.
I know, I mean, there's such personality in these, isn't there? There's attitude, there's this narrative as well. And I think, you know, when I look at this piece, I think it's really inspirational as well. It shows you that the underdog can win in the end. And I know this is what Harry's about. He is about having, you know, that sense almost of uplifting. And, you know, we've talked about this before, haven't we? That it is important, I think, in today's day. We have so much going on. There's quite a lot of chaos in the world, just putting it lightly. And to come home and just have something that's just really joyous and inspiring and beautiful and elevated and quite a statement piece. You know, this is just one of those objects that reflects that exclusivity and rarity. This has class. It truly does. And the finish on it is just absolutely magnificent. The sparkle there, the luster, you know. I think too, if you display it in such a way that we have, you really can make that work of art become central to the room. So anyone who walks into your home is just going to immediately notice it and start the conversation surrounding it. And that's what Bunce is all about. And I think it's even taken him by surprise. You know, this is an artist who didn't follow that path for 20 years. He was a very successful figure in the fashion world. Then he went to that reunion and somebody said, how's your art? And he realized he was on the wrong track, and he started then creating once again, and then suddenly he found himself successful. Now he's in 90 galleries throughout the United Kingdom, Europe and in the United States. Now he's on our show, gaining more momentum, more exposure, building his followers every single day. It's a very exciting time. So if you want to become part of that, you really need
Come to me.
to make sure you collect now. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we sold out, obviously, of the platinum at 900. I only had 3 available, so that's sold out. I have 4 of these available, and it is the rose gold finish. Let's zoom in on that piece. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll match the price, 900 for the rose gold. If you want it, get on the phone very, very quickly, and I'll quickly do the certificate of authenticity for you. And this is the beautiful little copper piece, and ladies and gentlemen, it is Coney Rocky in copper. Again, I'll match the price at 900 plus the buyer's premium. There are 4 available, red banner, 4 available, hand finished composite sculpture with mirror polish, signed by the artist and numbered on the base. Again, it's an artist proof. Again, there's only 20 examples in the world. Again, there are only 20 examples in the world. Let me just show the base of it here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's zoom in on that. Again, artist proof, only 20 in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm making this available. It was due for another auction. So that is your piece there at 900 plus the buyer's premium. 900 plus the buyer's premium. And ladies and gentlemen, we're doing our best to accommodate you. We're doing our best to accommodate you. We've had a lot of calls on these, and as I brought in the tiny one, I'm going to match the price. If someone wants the large one, there's only 1 available at 3,900 if you want the large rose gold. It's hand signed, 3,900 plus the buyer's premium on the large rose gold, ladies and gentlemen, or 900 on the tiny one. So 4 available on the tiny one, and only one of the large ones at 3,900. So who's going to be the first person to call in on the large piece, ladies and gentlemen? That is a sensational opportunity for you, and do get on the phone now. 3,900 for the large one, 900 for the small one. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't be fairer than that. There were only 7 in the world. There's 1 available. We have here 4 available, and again, this edition only a little bit larger, 20 in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, there were 7 of those. There's 1 available now. 3,900, first person to call in. If you want these, $900 for the small one. There we go. I hope that's nice and clear. We're trying to accommodate you. There were a lot of calls there on the rabbits, Lucy, as you can imagine. Over to you, my dear.
I mean, they're sensational, aren't they? And truly collectible, because there's just not very many in circulation, and we're not quite sure whether there will be in the future. So I think one of the reasons, and I've heard this from our collectors, they love the mirror finish sculptures, is that they never really stand still. And if you think about that, that's so true, because they capture the changing light, don't they? They reflect the room they're in, and they even include you as the viewer. Every time you walk past, the sculpture is slightly different. And I think that's what makes them feel actually really quite alive. And I think also the fact that they become part of the interior design of your room, you know, that mirror finish sculpture achieves both. It achieves the artistic presence, but it also enhances the space around it. And I think that's a major part of the appeal of sculptures like these. And then on top of that, you've got the fact that it's a Harry Bunce. So, you know, here's an artist who doesn't want to be taken too seriously. He just wants you to enjoy his art. He wants you to feel good when you look at his art. And reflective sculpture has become one of the defining aesthetics of contemporary sculpture, hasn't it? Thank you, Richard, for showing us those, because they are gorgeous. And artists such as Jeff Koons and Anish Kapoor, they've really helped popularize mirror finish. And that's what today's collectors want, don't we? We're drawn to works like this. They don't just occupy the space, they become part of it. They become part of your family. I think these Harry Bunce sculptures really do become part of your family. It's almost like you can talk to them. I'm sure you could, right? I think that's probably something I would do. But I just really, as you can tell, love anything to do with Harry Bunce. I think reflective sculpture as well has a major part in the 21st century, and we know that because of Jeff Koons. And I think people can't help but look at them. Over to you, Richard.
Well, they are beautiful, and I believe the large one might still be available, but you've got to call a check-in, and I think there are only 2 available of the tiny rabbit there, Lejon. Remember, there were only 20 originally. 20 that he created originally, and only 7 of those in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're very exclusive. Think about it, not many. There's, did you say 2 or 1 available now, John?
1 available.
1 available on this, on the tiny piece, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to move on. That's 900 for the small one in the rose gold, or 3,900 for the large monumental piece, which is about $18,000 in the gallery. So I matched the price with the platinum just to make it simple. There we go then, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to move on, and let's see what we got coming up for auction now. If you're interested in the last remaining Harry Bunts, then get on the phone now, 866-518-5933. Kim doing a magnificent job with all her phone team. Wonderful job, everyone, and they're great people, ladies and gentlemen. And we're about to move on with the show. We have something completely different for you coming up now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to skip back a few centuries, and we're going to offer one amazing opportunity. One amazing opportunity for someone, and there can only be one winner of this, ladies and gentlemen, to acquire the magnificent lot number 10, the Michelangelo. The Michelangelo, ladies and gentlemen, it's an engraving in black. It's signed, man seated on the ground with a woman. And ladies and gentlemen, this Michelangelo, let's have a look at it. I want to look at the actual certificate of authenticity here for you. And this particular piece, ladies and gentlemen, was created in 1540. 1540. Executed by the Pope's engraver Adamo Scultori. Now look at the certificate of authenticity. Look how much information is there. You'll see where it says title, Man Seated on the Ground with a Woman and a Child, from the series of studies from the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. By who? By Michelangelo. So this is an authentic work. It is catalogue reference. Now, anything like this, if you ever try to enter it into a major international auction like Sotheby's, Christie's, Phillips, etc., they will demand certification and proof that it is an original by the artist you're trying to enter into the auction. Whether it's a Rembrandt, a Michelangelo, a Leonardo da Vinci, a Picasso, a Dali, whatever it is, that is the purpose of having these certificates. Now, they're not just pieces of paper to just, fill up an envelope. Look after them, because this information is very important, not only to you, but possibly to your family and in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a first date, first printing, conceived by Michelangelo for the design of the Sistine Chapel ceiling in Rome. The plate executed by Adamo Scultori between 1540 and 1550. Adamo Scultori was the great friend of Michelangelo, and they worked together at the Vatican during the painting of the Sistine Chapel. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the original engraving. It has come from the Vatican archives. It was released in the last 50 years from the Vatican archives. We're very proud to have this here. We've had it entered into the auction, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a very rare piece indeed. Now, it's a highly valuable work, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to give one lucky collector the opportunity to acquire it. My opinion, Lucy, things like this, how do you value it? Well, if you went to an antiquarian gallery in Rome or in London or even in New York, try finding a work of art that's nearly 500 years old, number one, in that condition, and number two, from the design, the authentic design released by the Vatican nearly 500 years later, of Michelangelo. It is unbelievable that we have these in the auction, but we're very proud to have this entered into the auction today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give one lucky owner the chance to acquire it. I think the auction estimate on this one should be 20 to 25,000, 20 to 25,000 auction estimate. I'm going to start it at 5,000 and let's see where it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lucy. Auction estimate 20 to 25,000. I'll take 5,000 to open.
I mean, yeah, anyone who watches on a regular basis knows that I'm very passionate about these historical works because you're never going to see anything like this ever again. So to become the new custodian truly is a privilege. And then the other thing I really want to talk about here is the fact that you now have an opportunity by watching the Fine Art auction to really be taken on a journey, you know, back in time, and then we bring you back into the modern day and show you those modern artists who are really popular today. So back in the days of Michelangelo, he was the most popular artist. And I just think it's fascinating that now you've got an opportunity to own a work that truly is, you know, museum level collecting. If we come to my screen, I'm on the Vatican website here and I've taken a virtual tour and you've gone to the ceiling and you will see that these works that you're bidding or will be bidding on right now are right there on that ceiling. So these pieces were executed for that reason, almost as studies. They were a series of studies for the ceiling that we now see finished. Now remember, that ceiling is a fresco. So if we come back to our piece, those frescoes are the fabric of the building. They were painted on the plaster of Paris before it's set. That's what's so fascinating. Remember as well that back then there was no way to archive anything like this. There was no way to replicate anything like this. We didn't have video cameras, we didn't have cameras, we didn't have photocopiers. So the only way was to get the greatest engraver of that time and ask them to create them, and that's exactly what's happened here. And it would have been the dignitaries of the day that would have commissioned them. So the Pope. So let's go to my screen. It is just wonderful, isn't it? I mean, fascinating. But when we talk about Michelangelo, of course, there's not much out there, but what has gone through auction, 23 million there, 20 million. And engravings, again, not huge amounts. They weren't created to be collected and to survive so many years. 31,000 there. 35,500, but it was a long time ago. It was 24 years ago. So you can imagine that will have increased tremendously since then. New York, Sotheby's, which is where that auction was held. The Creation of Adam. Now that is what he's known for, Creation of Adam, anything to do with the Sistine Chapel, the Last Judgment. And this is what you are bidding on right now. This part of the Sistine Chapel. Look at it. Wow. Fabulous. And anything that is discovered that's Michelangelo, 27 million. This was a recent discovery. That was it. We know he was also a sculptor. And in actual fact, if we come back to our work, he didn't want to do the Sistine Chapel, but the Pope made him an offer he couldn't refuse. And that's how he ended up creating them. But what we're looking at here is, and I think, well, I'm going to tell you about that in just a moment. We've got to go to the auction. I can see a lot's going on. So back to you, Richard.
Well, Lucy, unbelievably on this one, I put an auction estimate of 20 to 25,000. That's what I think it ought to make, you know, in a fair auction scenario. But at 5,000, I have not received a bid at the moment. So 20 to 25,000 is the auction estimate, and you can alternate that. 486-year-old engraving, and it is a Michelangelo piece, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget that. It is going to sell, and it will go to the highest bidder, but I have to have a bid. I've opened it at only 5,000, 20 to 25,000 auction estimate. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a bid on this one. Let's go to the certificate of authenticity. And it is by the world famous Michelangelo, the Renaissance master. It is the Italian master born in 1475. He died in 1564. Man seated on the ground. Still no bids. 3-minute clock. 3-minute clock, please. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get bidding on this one. If you want to have a bid now. It's Man seated on the ground by Michelangelo with a woman and a child from the series of studies that he created for the Sistine Chapel. The Sistine Chapel's in Rome, part of the Vatican. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Catalogue reference, double catalogue reference by Bellini and Barsh. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if it doesn't have catalogue references, be very, very careful what you acquire. John, it looks like we might have to pass this one out. We'll save it for another auction, and we'll have to inform the gallery in Italy that it has not sold. So that will be a shame. But, ladies and gentlemen, original engraving, printed in black ink on fine laid paper, executed by Adamo Scultori from the design of Michelangelo, and it was entered in for the auction today, ladies and gentlemen. So we're very lucky to have this here. It ought to be in a leading world famous auction. First date, first printing. I cannot believe we can't get bids around 20,000 for this. I haven't even got an opening bid yet. 5,000, you've got about a minute left. First date, first printing, conceived between 1508 and 1512 by Michelangelo for the design of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. The plate executed by Adamo Scultori. Lucy, very sadly, we're going to have to inform the gallery in Rome it has not sold. Here is Lucy. Last chance.
Yeah, I mean, and I actually am really quite astounded. Well, you know me, I just think that to have the opportunity to become the new custodian of this work of art and allow it to live for another 486 years is an honour. And what makes this particular subject really fascinating is that unlike his very much more well-known scenes perhaps of the creation of Adam, these figures are really domestic, they're really human, they're really introspective, and at the same time very relatable, you know. That's almost like a snapshot of everyday life that he has captured here, and I think that's what makes them incredibly special. So they have been almost placed within one of the most important artworks ever created, which is The Last Judgment in the Sistine Chapel. So that's what makes them incredibly special. These scenes he created himself. He created them almost out of his imagination, which has made them very mysterious and a mysterious element of the Sistine Chapel, and a wonderful example of Michelangelo's own creative genius. And we know that this is an artist who is a creative genius. He is an artist that people flock to see in the millions every single year to the Sistine Chapel. 6 to 7 million people each year step inside the Sistine Chapel. You'll own a piece of that. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the gallery, you know, I can imagine if I submit them a bid of 65, they're going to go absolutely mad. But John, I'm going to take a chance and bring in the second piece, please. I want to give you a chance because they've entered a pair into the auction for us, and we, you know, we're very lucky to have these, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the second piece that has come. We're lucky to have this again from the same period. I'm going to show you the certificate of authenticity for this one as well. Again, individually, they have auction estimates around 20 to 25,000. I'm bid 6.5 at the moment. Let's have a look at the certificate of authenticity. This is the woman with a distaff and 2 children from the series of studies. This is the sister piece of it. Identical information, created at the same time, entered in to the auction here, ladies and gentlemen. And really, for the pair, we should be getting bids between 40 and 50,000 for the pair. I'm going to let you, the highest bidder will have the first choice. You can bid on number 1. Which is the man seated with the woman, or the woman with the children here. They're both by Michelangelo from the design of his that he created for the ceiling, both engraved onto a copper plate in 1540. Think about that, 1540. Now, you've just celebrated 250 years of America. Add another 200 years, and that is how old these are. They're from Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, they were released by the Vatican in the last 50 years. We've had them entered into the auction, and I wish you the best of luck. And I can only give you 2 minutes now, and it's the high bidder's choice on these magnificent pair of Michelangelos. You can have number 1, you can have number 2, or if you're really smart, I'd take them both at that money, because you're looking at really 40 to 50,000 for a pair. Here's Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, he deliberately included ordinary family scenes alongside the grand biblical narratives to remind viewers coming into the Sistine Chapel that the lineage leading to Christ came through generations of real people living ordinary lives. And that's what makes these works incredibly special. So, you know, you've got figures showing caring for children, resting or contemplating, spinning wool or carrying out household tasks, which, you know, really quiet family moments. So they are very relatable and still relevant today. And I think they become part of your family, part of your story. And also these are those works of art that almost becomes heirlooms that you hand down through the generations. I think they're very special. I just really enjoy the fact that they are historical. They are those studies that Michelangelo would have done for the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, arguably one of the most famous creations of all time. And you've got a chance to own them. This is what you find in museums. I mean, these are hanging in museums. And let me just take you back to my screen because I don't think we actually had a look at that. But yeah, let's go back. So let's remind ourselves those original engravings there, 31,000, 35,000, you're at 7,000. And then, of course, we go into the Sistine Chapel. And that, if you go up to the ceiling, you're going to see those works that you're bidding on right now that you could have hanging in your home. There, you see? I just love that. But yeah, I mean, this is such a famous artist. And I think if we come back to our work and we understand that this piece, it comes from Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, but not from the grand dramatic scenes. These are the ancestors of Christ, more intimate, human moments, a woman, an older man, a child. It almost feels like this snapshot of our own families. And I think that's what makes these pieces really powerful. Even within one of the most iconic artworks in the world, Michelangelo is bringing us back to something deeply human. And that's what he does. And look how expressive they are. Look at the detail. Just imagine creating that on a piece of copper. That is why he was the genius he is and why he's collected so much in the modern day. Over to you, Richard.
Okay, John, I see the bid is 8,750. Who is it, please, and which one are they bidding on?
California!
California, good morning. And number one, 8,750, it's your bid. 8,750, I'm bid. 8,750, give me 9 now. 8,750, 8,750 bid. 8,750 bid. 8,750, is there 9 now? 8,750, 8,750, I'm selling. 8,750, 9,000, where are they from? 9,000, Connecticut, thank you. 9,000 bid. 9,000 bid, 9,000 bid, 9,000 I'm about to sell. At 9,000 is another bid, yes or no? 9,000 California, it's up to you. 9,000, it's up to you. 9,000, last chance, I'm about to sell on number one at 9,000. They're both bidding on number one, John, is that correct?
That's correct.
9,000 is bid then at 9,000 going to sell. It is on sale with you at 9,000 on number one. At 9,000 it goes. At 9,000, is there anyone else, yes or no? At 9,000, at 9,000 bid, at 9,000 bid. 9,250. Thank you very much. 9,250. New bidder here. 9,250. 9,250. And it looks like they are from Florida. At 9,250. Thank you, Florida. At 9,250. 9,250 is there 9,500. 9,250. Someone give me 10. Come on. They should be selling between 20 and 25,000 these each. At 9,250. At 9,250. 9,500. 9,500 is bid. 9,500 is bid. 9,500 is bid. 9,500 and selling on number one, is that correct? At 9,500, at 9,500 is bid. 9,500, got a bit of 9,500. 9,500, last chance on number one or number two, it's up to you. High bidder choice. I'm selling now. The auction estimate was 20 to 25,000 each. I am selling number one then, it looks like. At 9,500 it goes once, 9,500 it goes twice. Just confirm where they're from. At 9,500 the gavel's high. California got the number one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to very, very quickly. I can only give you literally a minute. I'll start this basically where I started the other one. If you want to bid, you've got literally literally 1 minute to call in. I'll start it at 5,000 and I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. Again, it's 485 years of age, ladies and gentlemen, by Michelangelo, the designer Michelangelo. Here is Lucy. I start this one at 5,000. Again, the auction estimate for these are 20 to 25,000. Here's Lucy. Well done to California at 9.5. Well done.
Let's go over to my screen. So what we see here is Adamo Scultori and Michelangelo. So this is in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, not on view. That is not unusual because these works have to be preserved. And if they're on view every single day, they're going to disintegrate. And so they are protected. And this happens not just with Michelangelo's, also with Dürer's, etc. So if we come back to our piece, so please know that this is museum level collecting. I mean, and it's extraordinary, this work, because it is in such great condition. That's what you're looking for. When you're looking at a work of this age and of this caliber, you want to make sure it's in great condition, which it is. It's a really clean copy. And this was executed 485 years ago. Can you imagine? And so it was created on a piece of copper, and that's put through the printing process. So it's then inked and put down onto the piece of dampened paper. It's extreme force. And as the print is continued and each printing process is executed, obviously the print is going to become more and more faint. And so what you're looking for are the ones that were printed first of all, because they're going to have the most clarity, which is exactly what you've got here. So this is a beautiful example of a Michelangelo, and I think this one as well, you've got that child. It's a very, familiar scene, and that makes it very easy to live with. And the fact that it's 485 years old, it is this engraving of immense historical value. I mean, if we come back to my screen and you know that it's hanging in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, I think that's a really lovely reassurance as well, and something you can be really proud of. And if we come back to our piece, these Renaissance artists like Raphael, like Michelangelo, nobody has been able to replicate them in the modern day. These are the titans of the history of art. Back to you, Richard.
Well, Lucy, one of our viewers has just asked if you could possibly show those auction results again, what they've sold for. I believe you said in the region of 35,000, 35,000. I put an auction estimate on these of 20 to 25,000 to be conservative. We're currently only bid 6,250, and it is with Illinois at 6,250. I'll give you 1 minute with Lucy. Last chance, last call. I'm about to sell it. The last one just went for 9.5. Let's see if that went through. 6.5 I'm bid. Thank you, Michael. Here's Lucy.
Let's go back to my screen. So there we have copper engraving, and this one sold for 31,000, and we have another one there at 35,000 at Sotheby's, New York. If we come back to our work, so that gives you an idea of the value that can be attached to these original engravings. And knowing that you are holding on to a slice of history, that's what I think is so appealing about these works of art. And executed and created by one of the biggest names that's ever lived in the history of art, Michelangelo. I mean, it doesn't really get much bigger than that, does it? And what he created was not just a painting in the Sistine Chapel. He created a shockwave. It was very controversial at the time, so there is that historical factor as well. He was one of, if not the biggest, artist of his time. Back to you, Richard.
Here we go, 65 is bid and I'm selling. I can't believe we're at 6.5. The other one went for 9.5. We're just getting that new bidder registered on the big piece there at 9.5. Don't miss out on that because that's a great piece. Okay, so that's the purpose of getting on the phone early. Get yourself registered, ladies and gentlemen. We'll always try and take your bid, but we do need to register you. 65 is bid, and it is Michael's bidder. At 65, going to bid a 6.5. Michael, we're looking to see see where you're from. At 6.5 is bid. At 6.5, get a bit of 6.5 bid. 6.5 bid. 6.5 is bid, and I'm selling. 6.5. I'll give you 30 seconds with me only. It's about to sell. We're 3,000 under what the sister piece just made. 6.5 is bid. 6.5 only. Auction estimate, I put 20 to 25,000. These are known to sell for over 30. I think that's very fair, ladies and gentlemen. We're under 10. We're under 10. 6.5 is the bid, and I'm selling. 6.5, it's yes or no. Last chance. Last call, it's about to go. 6.5, and I bet we get late bidders now, John, because this is unbelievable. 6.5, it is nearly 500 years of age. The Michelangelo, on sale and with you, ridiculously low. I don't think we'll get many of these from Rome again. At 6.5, 6.5 is bid, going once. At 6,500, are you bidding yes or no? Going twice at 65, and the gavel's high. Yes or no? Last chance. Sold at 65. Congratulations. And John, just double check. I saw you were having issues with the registration there. So please make sure it's gone through nicely. Thank you very much. You can always call in, ladies and gentlemen, just to double check that something went through, because you never know. Maybe a credit card didn't work out or something like that, or someone didn't get registered properly. So you can always check out. But well done, Michael. 65, that is sold. Give him a round of applause. Well done. Thank you. And you did extraordinarily well there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on with a brand new artist to the show. We like to bring new things to you. This artist has an amazing history. He comes from Australia and he is world famous, but brand new to this show. So we're very lucky to have these works entered into the auction. And this is called Through Rose-Tinted Lenses. Through Rose-Tinted Lenses. It is not a Harry Bunce. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a completely different artist. This is from Australia. It is a unique work, and it was executed in 2026. It is a large, large original. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you an opportunity to own it. This is magnificent, John. The fantastic piece here. Have a look at it, because it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. These originals sell for an awful lot of money. Lucy's going to tell you all about it in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, from Australia, he is known as the Space Cowboy. We start this at only $3,000. Here is the wonderful Space Cowboy.
I am the Space Cowboy, and welcome to my gallery.
Some people spend their lives avoiding danger. Shane Hultgren built a career walking straight toward it. Known around the world as the Space Cowboy, he became one of Australia's most extraordinary extreme performers. A sword swallower, an arrow catcher, a showman, a record breaker, and an artist whose work has always lived somewhere between spectacle and impossible discipline. The image is unforgettable. A blindfold, a bow, a moving arrow, a body trained to do what instinct says cannot be done. But behind the shock of the act is something quieter. Years of practice, control, failure, recovery, and the strange calm required to make danger look effortless. The Space Cowboy's performances have taken him from street crowds to international stages, from television appearances to Guinness World Record moments, building a life around feats most people would never attempt once. Sword swallowing, arrow catching, electricity, endurance, precision. Every act asks the same question: where is the real limit? And then, over time, the stage began to widen. The same imagination that made the impossible physical began moving onto canvas. Bold animals, color, humor, instinct, motion. His paintings carry the same energy as the performances. Wild, fearless, a little surreal, and completely alive. What makes Shane's story compelling is not only that he has broken records, it is that he keeps transforming. The performer becomes the painter, the stunt becomes a language, the risk becomes a way of seeing. The Space Cowboy is not just a man doing dangerous things for applause. He is an artist of the edge, still asking what can be made from courage, curiosity, and a refusal to live small.
Welcome back, everyone. What an exciting artist we have for you right now. And I hope you all are ready for this and you are registered, because you're not going to want to miss out. These are original mixed media paintings. And let me tell you a little bit about him, because he isn't someone who quietly wandered into the art world, he exploded onto it, and he is known all around the world as a space cowboy, as you've just learned in that short video, and is one of Australia's most extraordinary contemporary artists, and he is based in the creative hub of Byron Bay, and he has quickly become internationally recognised. But before he was celebrated as an artist, he built this international reputation as arguably one of the world's most famous sideshow performers. So he was that person swallowing swords underwater in a shark tank, or juggling chainsaws, yeah, I'm going to show you some of that in a minute, on a giant unicycle, or catching arrows blindfolded. He holds 56 Guinness World Records, more than any other Australian. He became a regular face on international television. You know, he has really had this incredible career. And then something very remarkable happened, because during lockdowns he picked up a paintbrush, discovered an entirely new creative outlet, and he's never looked back. And this is the result. And what started as a new passion now has become this massive career. He's got his own gallery. He's exhibiting internationally. His work is collected around the world through galleries, art fairs, and we are very fortunate to have had them entered into the auction. So, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, if you want a piece of art that's just got personality, carries the DNA of a performer, then this is for you, because they're so bold, they're really energetic, they're full of movement, humour, optimism. And if I take you to my screen, I mean, I'm not going to show you, you can go and have a look yourself, you know, heaviest weight pulled with the eye sockets. I mean, I just, like, new world record, these chainsaws, there's so much that he has done. You go to his Instagram as well and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But now it's all about art. You know, it's all about his art and his art exhibitions, his collectors. Really, he's taken the art world by storm. If we come over to our piece, and I think many of the works and what collectors are increasingly recognising is that they're buying into an artist who's already got this global audience long before he became a painter. So, you know, that is what has really set him apart and really launched him into the world of art, and made him very exciting, because his works do have personality and they are the type of art that everybody wants. This is what we love. We love these sort of quirky pieces, don't we? And that's often where exciting contemporary artists will come from. Not those that colour inside the lines, so to speak, but those courageous ones who create their own. And that's what he's done. He is a courageous person. He is definitely a very brave individual, and his works reflect that. They are very powerful, but at the same time they've got a lot of humour in them. You can see how talented he is. He's definitely got an incredible eye for composition, and I think you don't just become a 56-time Guinness World Record holder by thinking like everyone else, and that's what his artwork reflects. They're different. Back to you, Richard.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, and let's have a look at the Space Cowboy. Wow, what a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, he'd be interesting to have round the house, wouldn't he? You might need to increase your insurance policy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Space Cowboy, original mixed media painting with acrylic and spray on canvas. So this is a one of a kind. It's called Through Rose-Tinted Lenses. Ladies and gentlemen, so a great title there, featuring the rabbit character. It is by the Space Cowboy, the Australian artist. We've not had an Australian on the show for a while, have we, John?
We have not.
No, so great to have one of my cousins there, mate. Original mixed media painting with acrylics and spray on canvas. Signed by the artist on the lower right, a unique work executed by this incredibly famous Australian. Ladies and gentlemen, created in 2026. 38 is the bid there at 38. Now, John, we're running short of time, so I'm going to have to bring in the next work, and I'm going to have to give you the high bidder's choice on these originals, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you like the next one, look at the character there, the owl. Doesn't he look a dandy there in the bow tie? I ought to wear a bow tie now and again. My grandfather be very proud of me. Anyway, wonderful character pieces. It is a complete original. I love this one. Got a lot of texture in it. I love this one too. But ladies and gentlemen, you can be the high bidder. You can choose number one. You can choose number two. Or if you're the highest bidder. You can have the pair. It's up to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's show you the second certificate of authenticity, and it is called Who Me? Who Me? Original mixed media painting with a, that's what I used to say to my mother all the time. Who, me? No, it wasn't me. Original mixed media painting with a critic. Oh, actually, it's my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mother. Congratulations. She's a young lady of, wow, she's 84 today. Amazing. Congratulations. Original mixed media painting with acrylic and spray on canvas, signed by the artist on the lower right. It is a unique work, and it was executed in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, who's going to be the top bidder on these amazing works? And 3.8 was the top bid. Who's in the lead at the moment? And I believe that was on number 1.
Washington State.
Washington State, well done. Here's Lucy. Washington State, if you want to change your mind and bid on number 2, it's up to you. You have the top option at the moment. The 1, 2, or you can have the pair. Here is Lucy, and let's give you a 2-minute clock.
Let's go to my screen, because look, he obviously showed this one in a home previously. Well, you know, how it could look in your home, and now you've got the chance to bid on it. And I love these. This is my style of art. I just think they're fantastic. I love something that's different but at the same time fun, using animals. I mean, dogs, I'm a big lover. So yeah, I think remember he's got his own gallery. So you could, if you were ever in Australia, go and see him, visit him, but you don't need to. You're here with us. You're watching with us. You've got access to art that you would ordinarily never have access to without travelling. And he is here obviously talking about his art and all of his different live performances. Some of his works have augmented reality within them, which also makes them obviously different too. And I just love it. He's so quirky, so cool. Everybody loves him. And this, I think, is his gallery. Really excellent. I mean, and again, you can see, you know, what a talent he is. You know, creating from his brain, you know, from his imagination, from his personality. It's awesome, and just something very different indeed. These are definitely works of art with personality, aren't they? Yeah, look, what else can we find? And then, of course, if we go back to our piece, the fact that he is, too, an artist that has that incredible career, that background. He's had that exposure. He's been on all of these different TV programs, Australians Got Talent, etc. So, you know, he has that platform to launch, and that is why he exploded onto the art scene. And now we have a situation where people are literally fighting for his originals. And if we can come back to our work and just see which piece are you going to have? You're going to have 1, 2, or both of them. Over to you, Richard.
Well, thank you, Lucy. Very nice of you. Here we go. 41 is bid, 41 is bid, 41 is bid. John, I want to do something very, very special here. I'm going to give you a chance, and it is only because this is the first offering. Would you bring in that piece, please? And let's put it in the center here. I'm going to give you a very special opportunity because I'm going to include this magnificent work. Look at the character on this one. I'm going to include it. Yeah, it is a limited edition on canvas. That's right, isn't it, John? Limited edition on canvas. It has actually the famous crown of Jean-Michel Basquiat there in gold. I love this piece. And you can have one of these with either number 2 or one of these with number 1. And that is a gift from us for today's auction, ladies and gentlemen, as it is the inaugural offering of Space Cowboy. I'm going to show you exactly what the print is. Let's have a look. And ladies and gentlemen, so the gift is included there. Wow, there's only 10 of these in the world. I'm going to give you one of the 10, ladies and gentlemen. These I know in the galleries, Lucy, are about $4,500. There's only 10 of them in the world. I'm giving one as a gift with number 2 and one as a gift with number 1. Who's going to bid? It's high bidder's choice now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put up a 2-minute clock, final call for bid, high bidder's choice. Don't get confused, it's only an auction. Never Too Late is the piece. It's caught in royal blue, archival pigment print with hand painting on canvas, signed by the artist. He's only done 10 of these in the world, and I'm including one of these as a gift with that. These are about $4,000. These, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, John, they're about 16,000 now in galleries. 16,000, the originals. These are about 4,000. Let me just see the back of it. There's only 10 in the world, ladies and gentlemen. So he signed it on the back down there, and I'm including one as a gift. So one as a gift with this, one as a gift with that. So it's up to you. High bidder's choice now. Got about a minute left to bid. Here we go.
I mean, when we talk about this artist, I think it's really hard to get your head around how successful he's been. You know, he's been on countless television shows around the world, including the United States, Canada, England, Italy, Spain, China, Japan, Germany, Indonesia, South America, New Zealand, Australia, and many, many more. You know, he's been on the hit TV show Outrageous Acts of Science. And then we need to talk about his art, because this isn't just an artist. This is a man who has built a global reputation by doing what most people wouldn't even dare to dream of doing. And collectors, yes, that's you right now at home, love artists with incredible stories. And the Space Cowboy, I think, has one of the most remarkable biographies in contemporary art. And his work, you can see it, it carries this energy of someone who's spent this lifetime pushing the boundaries of what's possible. You know, he doesn't have any limiting belief, does he? Now he's started to create art, and he's been incredibly successful as that as well. He's internationally recognized, instantly memorable, and that's exactly the sort of artist that we want in our homes. And then just look at these pieces. They're gorgeous. I just think you will smile every single day when you see a work by the Space Cowboy. Love his name as well. So I think original works by artists with this level of international recognition don't come along every single day. You've got a chance now. We're very fortunate to have them entered into the auction. This is a debut for us. So, you know, it is very exciting indeed. And if you're building a contemporary collection, this is exactly the type of art that's going to add personality and conversation to it, I think, you know. And let's go back to my screen. I mean, you can go and have a look yourself and just see what he's been up to, some of the incredible feats that this man has done, you know, the Guinness World Records that he holds. He is mental. Let's go back over to you, Richard.
44 is bid. 45 I'm bid on number 2. 45 is bid on number 2. 45 is bid. 45 got a bid of 45. 45 bid. At 45 on number 2. At 45. 45. 45 is bid. 45 on number 2 with tie. At 45. 45 is bid. 45, 46, and I'll give you the first choice. 45 is bid. 45 is bid. Don't forget, I'm giving you the artist proof in the middle as a gift. At 45 on number 2, I'm selling then. At 45, 45, up to you. If you want the pair, come in. 45, we have a top bidder. 45 is bid. 45, 45 is bid. 45 got a bid of 45, 45 bid. Lucy, your final thoughts, 30 seconds. How much? 4-6 is bid. Thank you. Lucy.
Yeah, let's go to my screen, because look, this is him at work in his gallery. You can see the comments. Everybody's loving what he does. You know, you see this extraordinary talent, and I just find it mind-blowing that somebody who's, you know, just spent his life building all these records, and now look at what he's doing. And yeah, I mean, you really do have a great opportunity, everyone, to own a piece by this artist who is now becoming one of the most famous names out in the art arena at those really important shows. So yeah, let's go back to our piece and let's go back to the auction.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at 5, I'm bid at 5,000 bid. 5 got a bid at 5, I'm bid. 5, I'm bid. I believe you said they want the pair. Is that correct, John? Sold. Sold and gone. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got an opportunity. So they've got the pair at 5,000 each. Well done to you. Thank you very much, Michael. And we'll work that out for you. And you've got one of the prints included. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's only 10 of these in the world. I'm getting short of time now. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to start it at only $300. I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder and let's see what it makes. And literally all I can give is 2 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, let's have a very, very quick look at the certificate of authenticity one more time. Remember, there's only 10 of them in the world, and the number one has gone there. Number one has gone with that, John. Thank you very much to the person with the pair. Congratulations on the wonderful pair there. Never too late. Royal Blue Archival pigment print with hand painting. 300 starts me. 2-minute clock I asked for. Let's have a clock then. Ladies and gentlemen, a limited edition of only 10 in the world, all hand embellished. And ladies and gentlemen, you've got 2 minutes to bid on it. I've started at only 300. It's hand signed. That is a gift. Let bidding. Here's Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been looking through his Instagram. Let's go back to my screen and have a look at him at work here. I love his concept. I love that he's taken these incredible animals and he's given them that human personality. And I think that's what makes his works really appealing to us and just so much fun, you know. But at the same time, to be able to capture that texture of these animals as well. You know how difficult that is. If you're not an artist, I'm not an artist, but I know from speaking to these artists, it's difficult. And to be able to sort of be able to portray that feeling of the animal as well, the essence of the animal, it is a very difficult thing. And if we come back to our piece, you've got an opportunity now to own an artist proof. And I think too, that is an opportunity within itself. Look at the detail within it. You've got those nods to the famous artist, that Jean-Michel Basquiat there, the crown at the top. This is the white rabbit holding the glass of wine, the stop clock. There is a lot to enjoy, and I think this is one of those pieces of art that's just going to continue to give to you every single day. You'll see something new within it from a star. And this is one of those artists that has so many different achievements, too many to list really, to his name. And now he's embarked in a new chapter in his life and seeing that explode too. How exciting to be part of that journey. And of course, you know, what we're giving this artist here too is more exposure into a new market, namely the United States. And therefore, of course, we'll see that his pieces will start to increase in value, because that's what happens. And you'll own something that's really limited, very coveted and highly collectible. And I think too, you know, this is really where the most exciting artist and art happens, when art arrives from completely unexpected places. He doesn't paint safe. He paints with that same fearless imagination that made him world famous in all of his feats. So yeah, just go for it. Over to you, Richard.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm selling now at 750, 800. Thank you, Darren. 800 bid, 800 bid, 800 bid is bid, 800 bid, 850. Thank you, 850. It's selling. 850. Come on, I'll take 9 now. 850, take 9. 850, take 9. 850, another 50 to move on at 850. I'll take 9. 9 bid. Thank you. 9 bid. 9 get a bit of 9. I'm bid. 900 on the fantastic piece here. There were only 10 of these in the world. Only 10 in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm selling now at 900 bid. At 900 bid it goes. At 9 get a bit of 9 I'm selling. At 9 get a bit of 9 it goes once, it goes twice. At 900, sold at 900. Congratulations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've got one more available, but you've got to get on the phone. There are 2 available now. We only had 10. I gave number 1 as a gift with the pair, which sold for about $10,000. Well done to you. You got number 1, but I have one more available at 900 plus the buyer's premium. Get on the phone very, very quickly if you want it. Lucy, what do you think of that? You got 30 seconds. John, let's get ready with the next piece.
I mean, I think this is the artwork that's come from someone who's lived life to the fullest. And that really reflects, I think, within his art. And I think that's exactly what you see here in this particular piece. And, you know, if you go onto his platforms, his various social media platforms, you'll learn a lot more about him and what character he is. And I think this is art with absolute personality. And to own a piece for only $900, wow. Back to you, Richard.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on at 900. There's one available. I'm going to keep this safe next to me. If someone wants it, you've just got to call in very, very quickly. So, John, let's bring in the next piece. We're running short of time. Andy Warhol up next, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is an amazing piece. It's a unique work. Wow, a unique Andy Warhol. It was painted in 1959 as part of the Wild Raspberry series. John, I'd like to put on here auction estimate 60 to 80,000. 60 to 80,000. Similar pieces have been known to sell for. 60 to 80,000 from the Wild Raspberry series. Similar pieces have been known to sell for. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a unique painting. It is by Andy Warhol, and it's called Dorothy Kilgallen's Gâteau of Marzipan, an original watercolor by Andy Warhol over offset lithography on woven paper. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got no choice. I should start this probably closer to 30,000. Let's see what it makes. I'm going to start it at only $10,000. $10,000 on the Warhol. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the certificate of authenticity. 3-minute clock. Let's have a look at it. It is Dorothy Kilgallen's Gâteau. I've only got 3 minutes to offer this, then we've got another artist to show you. So if you want to bid, you've got to bid now. Auction estimate can be 60 to 80,000 for the Raspberry series. Ladies and gentlemen, original watercolor. Some of them sell for more than that. Lucy will tell you in a second. Original watercolor by Andy Warhol over offset lithography, a unique work painted in 1959 as part of the Wild Raspberry series. Extremely rare, a very important work, and we're very, very glad to have this entered into the auction from our New York entry. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lucy with Andy Warhol. The opening bid, I'll start at 10,000, Lucy. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a special work, everyone, and it's an original watercolor, you know, executed by Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol, at the moment, holds world ranking number 6 in the world. So let's go to my screen and, you know, consider that he passed away in 1987. That shows you the power of owning an Andy Warhol. It draws the crowds to auction. And you know that his iconic works, we've got the Marilyn, we have flowers, we have the soup can. And the record is 195 million, and that is the second highest piece for an artwork sold at auction ever. That's a Warhol. And when he first sold that particular work, it sold for 17 million, and then we fast forward to the year 2022, 195 million. So that gives you some context into the market for a Warhol, particularly originals. And then when we look at this piece, we have a watercolor, and we have a watercolor, 226,000. And then we have another one here, Ice Cream Dessert, 138,000. Again, a watercolour sold at Christie's in London. We know that this is an artist who's in the MoMA. And if we come back to our work, let's talk about exactly what we're looking at. Because this was at a time, he was a highly successful commercial illustrator at the time in 1959. And he collaborated with a socialite called Susie Frankfurt to produce Wild Raspberries. This was a witty, satirical cookbook that poked fun at the fashionable obsession with extravagant French cuisine. And it was intended as an art object rather than a cookbook, and it was filled with these wonderfully absurd recipes and whimsical illustrations. And Warhol's own mother, Julie Warhol, even entered the text. And this particular piece that you're bidding on right now is particularly exciting because it is the most recognizable from the series. The Gâteau of Marzipan sounds delicious to me. The cake itself is totally over the top, exactly the point. Warhol is gently, really poking fun at the pretentiousness of haute cuisine, but he does it with enormous affection and humour. And that's what makes these pieces really desirable, very collectible, because of that hand colouring in watercolour, his beautiful early blotted line drawing style. So when I went to the recent exhibition on Warhol, This is Warhol before Warhol. This is why this piece is so incredibly collectible. Over to you, Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say one thing before I pass it out. John, if you don't mind, please get ready because we're running out of time. I haven't had a bid on it. I've opened it as low as I can. I mean, way under at $10,000. Anything original by Warhol, some of his originals sell in the millions of dollars. I mean, I'm talking tens of millions. So anything original, as the price goes up to hundreds of millions, what do you think happens with the other originals, with the prints, with everything else? It's like ships on a rising tide. They all go up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you one last minute. If I don't get a bid, it's going out. John, get ready with the next piece. Here's Lucy.
Ice cream dessert was created at exactly the same time in 1959. It sold in 2007 for $138,000. So if we can go to my screen, let me show you that. So 138,000 a long time ago, and at Christie's in London. So this gives you a little bit of context here. And if we come back to our work, so what we can see in this particular piece is his fascination with everyday objects. Remember, this is before he did the soup cans and things like that. His sense of humour, his love of commercial illustration, and that playful personality that would eventually change the art world as we knew it. So it's why it's such an important work. This is that pivotal moment. It's almost like we're seeing the blueprint for the artist that he was about to become. That's why these works are so sought after. And we are very fortunate that this has been entered into the auction. You don't see pieces like this come up for auction. I've never seen one before. I think it's fabulous. And I think at 11,000 you're doing exceptionally well. Over to you, Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am in the terrible position of actually having to sell this now. I don't know how I'm going to explain it to the gallery, but ladies and gentlemen, they put it in with no reserve. I've opened it up at only 10,000. I thought that was fair. I've only had one bid at 11,000. And where's the bidder from, John? At 11,000. New Jersey is in the lead. I've only had the one bid. I'm selling it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to explain myself to the gallery with this one. At 11,000, at 11,000, it's going to sell. At 11,000, is there anyone else now? At 11,000, I'll take $1,000 bids to move on. At 11,000, who's got 12? At 11,000, I'll take 12 to move on. At 11, got a bid of 11. 11 bid, 11 bid, 11 bid, 11.
11.5.
11.5, I'll take it. 11.5, 11.5, where are they from? 11.5, 11.5 is bid. At 11.5, New Hampshire bid, 11.5. At 11.5, 11.5 is bid. I'll take another 5 to move on. At 11.5, 11.5, at 11.5, 12,000 now. At 12,000 bid. At 12,000 bid, is there another 5 to move on? I'm selling. At 12, got a bid of 12 at 12. At 12 bid, with New Jersey then. It's New Jersey and New Hampshire. At 12,000 bid, with New Jersey, New Hampshire, it's up to you. I'm going to sell it. It's going to go. I've got to move on. At 12, got a bid of 12, I'm bid. At 12,000 bid on the beautiful piece. At 12,000, the original watercolour by Andy Warhol. It is selling to the highest bidder at 12,000 bid. It's on sale all the way. It's going at 12,000. At 12,000, Hunter, last chance. At 12,000 bid. 12,000 bid, last chance. It goes at 12,000. At 12,000. At 12,000 bid. At 12,500 bid. At 12,500 it goes. At 12,500, got a bid of 12,500. At 12,500 and I'm selling. At 12,500. At 12,500 bid. At 12,500 I'm bid. 12,500 is bid. At 12,500. 12,500. 12,500. 12,500 is bid. 12,500 is bid. How much? How much?
15.
15,000. That's more like it. At 15,000 New York. You know what you're looking at. At 15,000 bid. 15,000 New York money. At 15,000 and selling. At 15,000 New Jersey and New Hampshire. Are you out? At 15,000 it goes. At 15,000 they're both out. Thank you for bidding. At 15,000, a great, great bid there by New York. You've knocked them out. At 15,000 the gavel's high. Sold. You did incredibly well. Well done, New York. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what a morning. There we go. Well, coming up now, we do have a superb piece. How long have we got left of the show, John?
About 7 minutes.
About 7 minutes. Well, okay, I'm going to give you a chance to own something absolutely beautiful now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at this. This is a superb work. It's called Deepness of the Moment, number 5. And ladies and gentlemen, it is lot number 16, the original mixed media work. Congratulations to New York on the Warhol there. I'm very envious of you to acquire that original at that money. Well done. Hand signed by the artist on the verso. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of these superb pieces. Let's get the camera team to zoom in. Let's do the lights. And this is a unique variant, ladies and gentlemen. So it's signed on the back. It's in canvas. You've got the diamond dust on the piece as well. Let's just dim those lights so you can see all of that. There's some beautiful lilac colors in here, beautiful blues and orange. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great, great piece. And let's zoom out and see the piece. Let's bring up the lights. And I'm going to start it at only 1,000 as it's the final piece today. Let's see who gets it. And it is once again, we're very lucky to have this from his studio in Berlin, ladies and gentlemen. I offered a beautiful piece earlier which made 3,000 the resin. Starting this one at only 1,000, and I'll see what it makes. So ladies and gentlemen, it's up to you. Get on the phone now on the beautiful work of Kef. Here is Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody loves Kef, and I'm so pleased that we are ending the show this morning with a work by Kef, with the diamond dust. We haven't talked about the fact that Damien Hirst, and I think everybody's pretty much heard of Damien Hirst, a very, very famous artist. He created a series of works with diamond dust, and today those works, and I don't think he would have imagined that this ever could have happened, but let's go to my screen. It's actually sold, but a few weeks ago I showed this and it was 115,000. It is a print with diamond dust, and considering that Kef is on a similar trajectory to that of Damien Hirst, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future that would happen to him. You just don't know. That's the beauty of collecting art. Let's come back to our work. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, if you are sitting there and you're thinking, you know, I love Kef, and I know there are many of you who do, then this would be the moment to jump on the phone and make sure you acquire it, because the diamond dust gives it that extra depth, it gives it something extra. And then you've got the resin as well, it gives it that glossy finish. It's very high end, very premium, very luxe. And I just know that these pieces, when you hang them in your home, they really do have presence because of the sparkle. Look at it. Remember, it's real diamond dust. And then let's just talk about the artist. This is an artist who really has achieved international recognition. He's an artist that he is in demand wherever he goes. He's an artist who you have to wait on a waiting list to acquire a work by him now. He doesn't really have much time because he's traveling all over the place creating commissions. He is working with some of the biggest names out there. He's in some of the biggest collections. He is a museum provenance artist, even though he's not even 40 yet. He's been in the Torrance Art Museum there in California. He's also been in the Museum Gok in Germany. And that is massive for a living young artist, let alone a street artist. He is the rock star of the street art world, and I think the reason for that is because he appeals to everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're 8 or 80. For example, my mum, who is now in her 90s, really loves Kef's work because he isn't expecting anything from you. It's just beautiful. These works are stunning. They're mesmerizing, they're hypnotizing. And the other thing is that, and I don't think he did this deliberately, they do really sort of calm you down. I can almost feel myself, you know, calming down when I look at a piece from Kef. And that is what he is about as well. He creates these works for him to calm down. And that is passed on to us. Let's go back to Richard.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to show you, there's a lot of weight to this actually, it's quite heavy. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm bid 1,200 with Michael. I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder. We haven't got long left of the show, we've got about 5 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, this is produced on canvas. I'm going to rest it here because it's so heavy. He does a wooden butcher's block underneath it. If you listen to it, it's a bit like a drum. It's on canvas, but he has to go in a sealed room. No dust allowed on it. The only dust is the diamond dust that goes in it. You've seen it when we dim the lights. You get the beautiful diamond dust effect in that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a superb piece. Really, really gorgeous. I mean, people absolutely love these works because you get beautiful effects during the day. with the sunlight, you know, as you pass the piece. That is not glass, obviously, it's resin. So he pours the resin over the piece in a sealed room. The weight of this, John, is unbelievable. I'm glad I've got the easel here to rest it. So there's a lot of weight there with the resin. He pours the resin on over the diamond dust, over the mixed media original. And ladies and gentlemen, it takes about 4 weeks for these to what they call cure. And he goes to each one just to inspect them, does the best he can because each one is made by hand. And ladies and gentlemen, he goes and he actually goes with a little pin just to prick the resin if there are any air bubbles to make it as smooth and as perfect as he can humanly make. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a beautiful painting. You're going to enjoy it. It's signed on the back by the artist, so a large signature on the back. I'll show you quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still only at $1,200. What on earth's going on? We just sold one for $3,000 earlier. So, ladies and gentlemen, hand signed. It was the black version. We sold that for $3,000. We got $1,200 bid on this one. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's up to you now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've only got a couple of minutes left. I'll give you the certificate of authenticity. And here is your artwork then. It is Deepness of the Moment, number 5, the original mixed media work with diamond dust. 3-minute clock, please, and then we're going to close out the show. 3-minute clock, original mixed media work. Get on the phone now, ladies and gentlemen, if you like it, with diamond dust on the canvas, under resin. And ladies and gentlemen, it is hand signed by the artist on the verso, hand signed on the verso from a series of unique variants executed in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, extremely rare. Deepness of the Moment, number 5. What a wonderful, wonderful piece. Get on the phone if you want it. You've got about 2 minutes before the show ends. Here's the lovely Lucy. Lucy, what a great piece to end the show.
I know, it's a fabulous one. And where is it going to go, everyone? Go and measure up and just do it. Just treat yourself. Because honestly, when multiple industries embrace an artist like they've embraced Kef, it indicates staying power. You're not going to regret this one. These are the artists who continue to grow, evolve, and remain culturally relevant over time. Let's go to my screen. You know, this is what he's up to. He is doing commission after commission after commission. He doesn't have much time to produce the works now that we all love. And that just means it's just going to drive the prices up even further. Another surface, same language, private collection. This is what he's doing, private collections. Let's come back to our work. He's been specified in these really high-end architectural projects, which is really great for him, but not so great for us. If we want to collect his works, it's really difficult to actually get your hands on them. So to own a piece, a unique resin work by him, a unique variant, is a really cool thing to own. And if we can just go back to my screen in just a moment. Thank you very much, Dave. Let me just flick through a few of those collaborations and let's go back to my screen. So 88,000 there for an original. This is where he sits within the art world. That's what he's able to command for his original works. Sold out is generally what you're going to see. There's the museum show in Germany. These are the collaborations he's doing. Really high-end luxury brands working with him. He's in Hong Kong. He's in Shanghai. He's in Manhattan. He's in Paris at Printemps. He's painting walls all over the world. That was in New Orleans. You know, this is an artist who's in demand. Look at that. Fabulous work within this gorgeous architectural design building, and yeah, these wonderful cars that he's been invited to wrap. They could ask any artist they want. They ask Kef alongside Banksy, Kaws, Bambi. Let's come back to our work. So, ladies and gentlemen, it just remains to be seen whether you're going to hang this in your home or not. All you have to do is pick up the phone and just join in the fun and just see what happens and start your collection or add to your collection, because this is the art superstar of the 21st century. He is a major deal. He's a major player and a really nice guy as well. And this work will bring you so much joy as well as a little bit of serenity and peace, I would say. But I think I probably do need now to take this moment to say goodbye to everyone. It's been a pleasure, as always. Thank you very, very much. And I will see you next weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and enjoy your week. And I'll see you next weekend. Bye. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Lovely to see you. And thanks for all your hard work and all that research. Fantastic information, ladies and gentlemen. The show ends in a few seconds now. So get on the phone if you want to bid on this one. We're very low. The other one just sold for $3,000. I'm at 21 on this one. So if you get this under 3,000, you've done incredibly well. All I would say is this is called Deepness of the Moment, number 5, and ladies and gentlemen, it is about to sell. Come to me at the podium, so get on the phone if you're interested in the KEF. I'd like to say well done to everyone. John, was there still one of these available? One available. And what was the price? 900 plus of buyer's premium? 900 plus of buyer's premium. Is there a rabbit available? Do we have one of these? We have one of the 900. How about that? One of those at 39 the large. 39, 900. Get on the phone. We're in here at 2100. I'm going off air now. See you next weekend. Have a great week. Thank you.